the Pendleton Bulldogs and the BHP Bears on tap for you tonight. I'm Samuel Goodrow.
I'm David Pauly.
And we are incredibly excited for this matchup tonight. David, a tall task for these Pendleton Bulldogs here tonight. BHP has dominated this series. They lead this all-time series 13-0. The Bulldogs have never defeated the BHP Bears. BHP 9-0 under head coach Russell Blackston, but Grayson Howell and the Bulldogs trying to change that tonight.
No question, Sam, that BHP, a very talented football team and very, historic program in the state of South Carolina. But the Bulldogs have had recent tight matchups with the BHP Bears, just like their matchup in 2023 in the second round of the playoffs where BHP won 44-28, and it kind of got away from the Bulldogs a little later on in the game. So it'll be very interesting to see how Coach Howell comes out with his squad against Russell Blackston and his team.
And when talking about this BHP Bears squad, it all starts with their star running back, Marquez Henderson. He is a South Carolina Mr. Football finalist for 2024, and he is averaging well over 10 yards per carry this season. 78 rushes, 1,077 yards, and 13 touchdowns. So not a lot of usage per se. 8 games into the season, only averaging about 9 carries per game, but already well over 1,000 yards.
Right, they haven't really needed to use him that much because they've been able to handle games. Obviously, all of their games, actually, in either a win or loss, have pretty much been in hand. Their only loss coming 55-14 at Westside, so obviously they're not going to give Marquez opportunities late in the game where he could get hurt because he is their star guy, and he shows so much what he can do, what we've seen in past seasons. This season, we've yet to really see it because they haven't really needed to go there. They have a lot of other talent on the roster as well.
Yeah, and on that same note, Marquez Henderson, these are courtesy of BHP_Bears on Twitter, these statistics. Marquez Henderson has only 22 second-half touches this season, so that just goes to show you that BHP is putting opponents away early. The exception to that is their blowout loss against the Westside Rams, obviously one of the best teams in 3A, arguably one of the best teams in the state. But not only is BHP able to run the ball with Marquez Henderson, they're really able to stop the run as well. Last year in the matchup between the Bulldogs and the Bears in the second round, which BHP won 44-28, BHP ran the ball 51 times for 263 yards and 5 touchdowns, while Pendleton ran the ball 13 times for only 23 yards. And carrying into this season, 21.3% of BHP's opponents' rushes have gone for negative yards. That's unbelievable.
And the key to winning this game for either side is going to be running the football. Obviously, BHP likes to run it more than Pendleton does, but whoever runs the football and has more control, more unanimity, more ball security with running the football is going to win this football game, no question about it. BHP has some great players on their defensive line. They have 2 great defensive tackles in the middle of their defensive front that really disrupt everything. So you have to be able to stop the run, and you have to be able to run the football. That's what so many great coaches, you hear it all the time, talk about. If you want to be a tough football team, it's running the football and stopping the run, and BHP does that excellently at the high school level.
This is the Guys Pizza pregame show as part of our broadcast of Pendleton football, brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse right here on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio. We'd like to take a moment to thank each and every one of our sponsors: Brains on Exchange, Rogers Petroleum Incorporated, Guys Pizza, Black Tie of Anderson, Pendleton Historic Foundation, Gettin Chilli Ice Cream Truck, Wes Cox Attorney at Law, Liberty Hall Bed and Breakfast, Foothills Church, Crenshaws TV and Appliances, United Community Bank, Tiger Express Wash, McDougald's Funeral Home, and Mac.Bid. Well, as is kind of custom during this Guys Pizza pregame show, we're going to segue into a conversation that you and I, David, had earlier this week with Coach Grayson Howell. It is time for part 1 of the Outsider Coffee Coaches Show.
Is the Outsider Coffee Coaches Show. Samuel Goodrow joined, as always, by head coach Grayson Howe of the Pendleton Bulldogs. Coach, big win last week against West Oak, your first region win of the season. A really nice performance all around, but especially by your quarterback, Jace Gross, threw for over 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. Another guy who had a pretty big game was Bray Spear, 3 total touchdowns in that one.
Yeah, those games can be a little tricky. You're coming off a loss and really 3 losses in a row, but yet you have an opponent that you feel pretty good about going into the game. They had only won 1 game all the way back to the first week of the season, and so you want to come out and play clean and play well. Jace threw the ball with some confidence and needed a game like that. Bray, I think, had either 6 or 7 touches and 3 touchdowns, so that's a pretty good night, right? Caught 1 and then ran for a couple, and he's probably been, with Abijah out, has probably been our most consistent offensive weapon, and has really shouldered some responsibility and shouldered a lot of the load. So excited to continue to see him put together solid performances. But yeah, I mean, we did what we expected to do. That's kind of always the challenge when we play games like that. How do we go out and execute, which I thought we did a really good job both offensively and defensively, pretty clean, created a bunch of turnovers, fumbles. Jamari Chapman had a pick. And then you want to see us, I think I told you last week, probably my greatest disappointment about the Cahaly game was the effort with which we played the game. And so I wanted to see that return, just really challenged our guys to go have fun, right? Get back to just enjoying the game. And I thought we did that, and I thought it showed. And, turnovers are created by effort most of the time. And so when you create, I think we created maybe 5 or 6 turnovers in the game. And I think that's a byproduct of how hard we played.
And how do you guys carry the momentum you created last week into this obviously huge game against BHP here at home at Cunningham Stadium here tonight against a really talented opponent? We talked off air. This is going to be probably the biggest upfront team that you guys have seen all season. Just how do you carry that momentum into a big region showdown in Cunningham Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, you try to build every day. And we needed, like I said, some success. We gained that. I'm hoping, after playing BHP in the second round of the playoffs last year and having some success there and really competing against a team we eventually lose to, but a team that is a fumble away on the 1 yard line of playing for a state championship, that we have shown that if we do things well, that we're physical, that we can compete with a team like them. And so we need to, there's no special sauce. It's, you earn the right to win Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we practiced that way last week. We need to do that again this week, and if we can stack those days and prepare well, and then execute well, and play with great effort again, then you never know.
Absolutely. So BHP, obviously one of the best teams in the state of South Carolina. What is the game plan going in here? Like, obviously, they have some great players. Tell us a little bit about who you see on BHP and what you see in their team.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a perennial power in this area for a long time. They have a long history of success and long history of producing great players and playing in a certain way. They have a culture that depends on and is built on being physical, and so that has not changed. You watch them on film, and I mean, they're not going to do a whole lot of fancy stuff. I mean, they're going to line up in 2 tight ends, and they're going to pound the ball at you, and they're going to run power, and they're going to run counter, and they're going to run, they'll do some play action stuff and some bootleg, and then they're going to try to create chunk plays in the passing game. That's what they're going to do offensively. And then defensively, again, it starts with really good line play. They've got 2 really, really good defensive tackles that not only are they big, but they're athletic and they play extremely hard. You watch them on film, and they are chasing the ball. And these kids, they're 290, 300 pounds, and I mean, they're getting after it. Their defensive ends, they've got 3 different guys that they play. One is a senior, Justin Lathan, who last year played defensive end against us and then ended up being their running back for the majority of the game after a couple of their guys got hurt, and he had over 100 yards rushing and then impacted the game from defensive end. And so he's back on the defensive line, not really playing much running back. And then they have a younger guy playing one defensive end, and then another kid also plays tight end, and so they're athletic. And then at linebacker, they have a really, really good junior that plays at their Mike linebacker spot, and then they've got a seasoned guy who's played a lot of football, kind of playing their field linebacker, and then their boundary guy is a really solid player who plays very hard. And then in the secondary, they're really good. They've got a returning sophomore that started last year as a freshman that's a really good player. They have another kid that plays corner that was kind of their dime package guy last year. And so they're pretty experienced. They're very well coached. You can watch on film that they prepare well because you can see that they're pointing out stuff before it gets snapped against other teams that they're anticipating what's going to happen. And so, and then offensively for them, it all starts with the running back, Marquez Henderson, who's a really, really special player. During the course of the year, he's broken their career rushing record, which is saying something at a school where they run the ball a lot. And so he's really good, and their quarterback's a good player as well.
How do we, as Pendleton, how do we look into this BHP, which is awesome team, and you're like, hey, what can we do to not think about guys like Marquez Henderson and, just use it on our own merit to win this football game?
Yeah, I mean, you go and you prepare, and, it's going to start with, can we slow them down offensively? Can you make them earn it? Because there are a lot of plays when you watch on film and see highlights where he's scoring from distance. And so can we stop that stuff? Can we slow down the explosive plays from him? And then again, in the passing game, can we stop those chunk plays? Because you've got to take some risk defensively against teams like that. Teams like them where you've got to really pack the box to have a chance to stop the running game. And so can your corners and your safeties stand up, and so how do you match their physicality? Well, that's what you preach all week. You got to be willing to stand in there and do your job. And if you're asked to dig out an offensive lineman and just create a pile, then you need to do that. If you're asked to slant through a gap, then you need to slant through the gap as hard as you possibly can. When you get an opportunity to get your hands on a running back, then they need to go to the ground. And so that's kind of what we preached last year, and it'll be the same thing we preach this year. When we hit people, they need to be on the ground. And that's the only way you're going to make them respect you is by showing up.
How important is this game being at home for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you sure don't want to play games like this on the road if you can help it. We went over there last year in the second round, and I think it impacted the game, positively for them. Anytime you've got people that are pulling for you more so than the other team, it helps. And we've had great. I mean, we've only had 2 home games the whole year so far. We had a great crowd in the opener against Chesney, which I think helped us. We had a great crowd for homecoming at Walhalla, and I'm hoping with a game of this magnitude and an opponent like this, then our people are going to come back out and pack the stands, and as we like to say around here, pack the ham. That's our deal, and so we're hoping that our people will show up and be loud.
What would you like to say to Bulldogs fans, coming out to the game on Friday night?
Yeah, absolutely. These kids deserve your support, and we need them here. The amount of effort that goes in. We get to see our band won a state championship last Saturday, and they're going to be there, and a chance to honor them and clap for them and our cheerleaders and all the work they put in. And you only get so many opportunities a year to be here and to play and to experience high school football and Friday night lights. And we've got this one and one more that we're guaranteed, and we're hoping that we can figure out a way to get a home playoff game, but that's not guaranteed at this point either. And so we need people to be here. We need them to be early. We need them to be excited, tailgating, doing their thing.
Absolutely. That has been the first half of the Outsider Coffee Coaches Show here on the Guys Pizza pregame show. We'll be back at halftime with more talk from Coach Hal.
Samuel Goodrow, David Poley back with you live from Gunningham Stadium. We're going to take a quick break to hear from some of our sponsors. And on the other side, we'll have the uniform report brought to you by Black Tie of Anderson. Already had the Pendleton Historic Foundation National Anthem. We'll give captains and the keys to the game and kickoff of Pendleton Bulldog football right here on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio. Attention, ghost hunters. Imagine it's dark and you're being led by candlelight through a 200-year-old haunted plantation home. Sound scary? Sound fun? Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-a-year only event. Visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org and purchase tickets to the wildly popular Pendleton Ghost Tours. Limited tickets will be sold, not for the faint of heart, and no one under 17 will be admitted. Call John at 864-646-7249 or visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org today. Pendleton Historic Foundation, preserving and interpreting Pendleton's history. Go Bulldogs! Is your vehicle in need of a wash right now? Visit any Tiger Express Wash location in Clemson, Easley, Pendleton, or Seneca, and you can be through the tunnel with a clean, dry car in about 3.5 minutes. Plus, with the Anywhere Unlimited Fast Pass, keep that shine with a wash as often as you like at any of our upstate locations. Customers enjoy an eco-friendly, fun, jungle theme, and free vacuum use. Tiger Express Wash. More locations, same quality care. Why not beat the heat with a cool, sweet treat? Book Gettin Chilli, your hometown traditional ice cream truck, for your next event. You can find and like us on Facebook and call 864-844-4384 to book us for your next event. That's 864-844-4384 for Gettin Chilli ice cream truck. And we are back, and we are live at Cunningham Stadium for tonight's big showdown between the BHP Bears and the Pendleton Bulldogs. Captains have just left midfield. Captains for BHP, number 8, Justin Lathan, number 18, Ty Kelly, number 79, Oliver Merritt, and number 82, Ryan Lee. For our Bulldogs, number 1, Nash Cahaly, number 4, Kendall Turman, number 21, Cody Williams, who recently was named to the North-South All-Star Game. Congratulations to the defensive back, Cody Williams. And finally, number 34, Carson Gregory. We're just about ready to get underway here at Pendleton High School. Just under 5 minutes until kickoff. The Bulldogs are getting ready to take the field, as are the BHP Bears. But, David, obviously a tall task for the Bulldogs tonight. What do they need to do, number one, to keep this game a four-quarter football game? But number two, what do they do to have a chance to win this game? What are your keys to the game tonight?
Sam, there's so many keys to the game because when you're looking as Pendleton at a team like BHP, you got to do pretty much everything correctly. Your mistake window is very, very limited. You don't have a large margin for error. You have to attack when you're given chances, and you have to be tough in every aspect of the game. My three main keys to the game are, one, sending multiple players over the stars on BHP to create your matchups, right? Marquez Henderson, you're going to have to stack the box. You're going to make sure, hey, if he's going out, we're going with him, right? If we see players like Tajay Watson-Martin, you know, the wide receiver, he's going outside, hey, we're going to cover him. We're going to know where he is at all times, right? And even with quarterback Noah Thomas, he's a dual threat. Are we having a linebacker that can maybe get off of his assignment lane? Is kind of playing a pseudo spy, if not a false spy, on Noah Thomas. Second is going to be the matchup between the Pendleton defensive front versus the BHP line, right? Obviously, BHP very big, and we've seen Pendleton struggle against bigger fronts, you know, as they're, you know, a smaller school with 3A in terms of size. And BHP is not. They don't lack in the size department. They got big, tough guys on their offensive line. So the Pendleton defensive front is going to have to counteract that by sending guys up to the line of scrimmage constantly, making sure that it's not just a three-man front, making sure it's at least 4 and probably 5. You're going to have to give up maybe some in the middle of the field to make sure that you're getting pressure on not only the quarterback, but filling run gaps correctly, you know, from the jump. And third, the Pendleton offense is going to have to be aggressive early, right? So we've seen Pendleton fall behind, seen Pendleton start slow, and that is honestly when the Bulldogs get in some of their biggest troubles. If you can get guys like Bray Spear and Ham Scott in space, attack with tempo, but also maintain your control and able to mix it up, you know, go from super fast to getting right back down to it and get your guys open in space by being aggressive early, not having to play, catch up. That would be a real factor. So those are the three keys of the game, so.
Thank you so much, David. We're about 2 minutes away from kickoff, and the Dogs are making their walk through the bleachers, a tradition unlike any other here at Pendleton High School, the Dog Walk, as members of the football team, led by two flag bearers, one carrying the American flag, one carrying the South Carolina state flag, leading the Bulldogs from the bleachers to the field. So the dog walk is underway. It is PRA night here tonight at Cunningham Stadium. We'll get more into that during the halftime show. Coach Howell's going to break that down for you guys. But Parks and Recreation night here at Cunningham Stadium. We see a lot of young kids, rec football players, rec volleyball players, any fall sport playing at the recreational level in the city of Pendleton. They were invited to tonight's game to take the field with the Bulldogs. They're doing just that. Dave, it kind of goes without saying that for BHP, the player to watch, the impact player, is Marquez Henderson. Last week, the Bulldogs found themselves with several players that had incredible games. Just to name a few, Jace Gross, incredible game. Mellow Mattress, incredible game. Bray Spear, 3 touchdowns on 6 or 7 touches. Just absolutely incredible all the way across the board. But who is your impact player for the Bulldogs here tonight?
It's so easy to say Jace Gross, but I think that's who it is. Because how is the quarterback going to respond to the biggest game of his freshman year? How is the quarterback going to have to deal with a unbelievable BHP defensive line coming at him? It honestly could be Jace Gross, or it could be the entire offensive line as a unit, because Coach Howell said, hey, we have to protect better. We have to make sure that we're finding new ways to move the ball. We have to make sure they're ready for those big guys in the middle, because you have those 2 defensive tackles and you have a rotating cast of very talented defensive ends. So I would probably say Jace Gross and the offensive line as that unit, because you know the skill players, you get them in over space, they're going to be there for the most part, even against a talented secondary like a BHP. I think that it's definitely on Jace Gross and the offensive line if Pendleton's going to be successful tonight. And the defense has to hold strong in the run game as well.
Yeah, and defensively, how do you hold strong in the run game, especially in a 3-3-5? Look, what do you think the strategy is for the Bulldogs to contain this rushing attack that's really been a 3-headed monster for BHP?
It's a really good question, Sam, because naturally when you're in that 3-3-5 stack, you're lining up linebackers, on the heels of your defensive lineman, and you're giving away space. You only have a 3-man down. Obviously, teams are going to try to run the football on you. BHP just happens to be great at running the football, so how do you counteract that? You got to make sure that your linebackers are good run stoppers. You have to make sure that your alignment is almost perfect every single play, and that you are making sure that your linebackers are coming up and the safeties. Like if you have an extra safety, you're having an extra DB in there, how's a rover going to get involved? How's somebody going to be able to get up and get in there like a Jamari Chapman? How's he going to be able to stop the run? You got to make sure your linebackers and your safeties are creeping down the line and attacking to fill in those gaps for those defensive linemen.
Well, it is officially game time at Cunningham Stadium between the 7-1 BHP Bears and the 3-3 Pendleton Bulldogs. The uniform report is brought to you by Black Tie of Anderson. BHP is wearing white uniforms with navy helmets, navy numerals. The Bulldogs in their black uniforms with gold pants and gold numerals. The kick is underway, and it bounces at the 15-yard line. Jamari Johnson runs by it, but then comes back to get the ball and is tackled inside the 10-yard line. Wow. Tough field position for the opening possession for this Bulldogs offense.
Really tough. That ball took a bounce at around the 20. It looked like Johnson had it, but it just went through his hands, and he was forced to completely change his momentum, go back, recover that ball. He tried to reverse field, just wasn't able to do it. Now the offense headed out on the field, and I think to start it off, you got to give it to the man, Bray Spear, and really establish that physicality. You know they're going to play fast, Sam.
Well, it's Jace Gross in the backfield as usual. He's joined by the single-back Bray Spear to his left. One receiver split out wide to each side for the Bulldogs, who are going from left to right with Ty Miller in the formation at tight end.
Miller doesn't really get much receiving action, but he's great as a sniffer, a blocker coming side to side.
4-man front for the BHP Bears. Here's the handoff from Gross to Spear, and it's a tackle for no gain by that BHP Bears defense, who, as we mentioned in the pregame show, do not allow many plays for positive yardage in the run game.
Really tough. A great job by number 8 for BHP, Justin Layton, to really blow that up instantly. I saw him on the forefront of that group that was tackling him, but the entire defensive line got off pretty fast and kind of blew up the Pendleton offensive line.
Second down and 10 from the 10-yard line for the Bulldogs. Two receivers to each side. This time it's a three-man front for BHP. Gross takes a snap. He's looking to throw. He has a man deep. It's Sam Jennings thrown to the sideline just a little too far out in front of Jennings at around the 37-yard line. It falls incomplete. That'll bring up third down and 10.
Ross dropped back, very poised, seemed very calm, took his time. I love the way he stretched his drop back, and he fired. And he had a guy there in Jennings who had some space, kind of dig into that corner route, approaching the sideline. Unfortunately, the ball just a couple feet left of him. Jennings wasn't even able to make a play on the ball.
Third down and 10. Three receivers to the right of Gross with one to the left. He'll fake the handoff to Spear. Now he'll dump it off to Spear. Cut at the 6-yard line. He's across the 15, across the 20. That's a Bulldogs first down. A very nice play design for this Bulldogs offense. Bray Spear moves the chains on a critical third down. You don't go 3 and out on your first possession. That's absolutely huge.
No, absolutely huge, Sam, because I feel like the Bulldogs have gone 3 and out on a couple first possessions in games past that they ended up either having a slow start to or losing altogether. I think that is a huge switch of momentum for the Bulldogs, and a great job by Bray Spear, who's going to be crucial tonight if they want to win the football game.
Fresh set of chains. First and 10 from the 21-yard line. Going in motion is Deshaun Jenkins. They'll give it to Spear up the middle. Spear into the second level, but there a linebacker takes him down for minimal gain. He's tackled at the 24-yard line. He'll bring up second down and 7. Just on the way here at Cunningham Stadium between the Pendleton Bulldogs and the BHP Bears. 10:18 to go in the first quarter.
Really good linebacker play early on by the BHP defense. Really filling those run gaps because Spear was able to beat the defensive line, completely go past him, and the linebackers were right there to stop him for only a 2-yard gain.
Second down and 8 from the 23-yard line for the Bulldogs. Sam Jennings in motion from right to left. Gross takes a snap. He'll fake the handoff to Spear. Gross is looking to get it done with his feet. Not much running room, and he will be tackled for just a 1-yard gain. It'll be third down and 7.
Gross elected to keep it and then cut it back inside. I like his speed to go outside there, Sam, and try to take the edge. But a great job by linebacker Patrick Sloan, number 33. He was containing all the way. He was not letting Gross out of the sight. He was not leaving his space. He was in a perfect contain, kind of filling that defensive end spot, just perfectly quarterback containing, and he was able to force him back inside and make a tackle.
Another third down for the Bulldogs. In the empty formation, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Gross is looking to throw again. Deep down the field, it's caught by Nash Cahaly near midfield, and the Bulldogs have faced 2 third downs on this drive, and they've converted 2 third downs on this drive.
Great job by Nash Cahaly, not the biggest frame. He went up and he got that. Was able to jump all the way in the air and bring that out with 2 hands, never a doubt about it. Nash Cahaly, a very good high school wide receiver, great receiver for the state of South Carolina, and he really shows great leadership because he's a guy who's a senior, and he's been around the block here at Pendleton, and he just made a big play for his team and moved them to the 50-yard line.
First and 10 from midfield for the Bulldogs. 2 receivers to the right. Heavy formation with a tight end in the package. Hand out to Bray Spear, and the BHP defense acquires their first tackle for loss of the game.
BHP all over that counter play, completely bombarded the left side of the line. Spear had to go right. He had no choice, but it was already blown up when he got there. This run defense looking very staunch early. You can't pivot, though, if you're Pendleton. You have to work to continue to establish it. Make sure that you're playing into that toughness because toughness is going to win you this football game. You've got to control the ball. You got to control the clock. You can't just go completely pass happy, but you have at times, so you got to make sure that you're staying balanced.
Second down and 11. Ty Miller once again in the package at tight end. Cross takes the snap. He'll fake the handoff and fire quickly, nearly intercepted by the free safety, Colby Bates. Clanked off of his chest. Likely a throw that Gross would like to have back. Thankfully, all it does is fall as an incompletion, bringing up third down and 11.
So they run that RPO inside zone concept where Gross is really, slow with Spear, and then he releases it. He fires over the middle to his intended receiver that's slaying over the middle. And a great job by Bates. He reads it perfectly. He's coming up like he's playing the run. He sees it, and he runs in a perfect line in between the pass pattern. Just falls through his hands like that's an interception that has to be had. I'm sure, the coaching staff from Coach Russell Blackstone not very happy about that one.
Third and 11. Bulldogs in empty yet again. Gross looking for someone to go with the football, and he is forced to throw it away. Number 43, Ty Rainey, with the quarterback hurry there. The Bulldogs are going to be forced to punt, but a nice job picking up a couple of first downs. Hopefully now the Bulldogs can flip the field here with a punt.
A really promising first drive there by the Bulldogs. Able to move it a bit in the passing game against BHP's defense, in which is a secondary that's pretty good. Obviously, they're going to try to attack the side of the free safety because the strong safety likes to blitz a lot for BHP.
Sam Jennings punted away. It's a really high punt. It lands on the 30-yard line and takes a nice Pendleton bounce down to the BHP 22-yard line. We'll take a short break, and on the other side, the BHP Bears will have their first possession of the game.
Liberty Hall is a 10-room bed and breakfast with ensuite bath in historic Pendleton, available for those traveling to our area and local getaways. Liberty Hall venue is a great location for wedding receptions, corporate meetings, parties, and events. Call Liberty Hall today for your next event.
Scoreless about midway through the first quarter here at Cunningham Stadium between the Bulldogs and the Bears. The Bulldogs picked up a couple first downs, but were ultimately forced to punt on their first possession of the game. And now Marquise Henderson and the Bears go to work. The first play of the game is an outside run for Marquise Henderson from the 23-yard line. He gets all the way out to midfield, bouncing it outside before going out of bounds.
Seeing him in person, I wish I could describe it to you guys. His speed is off the charts. He's able to take a typical inside run, completely bounce it out, and he looks like he's the fastest man on the field by 5 miles per hour. He's completely cutting up, and he's able to get across midfield for his team in the first play of the game. If you're DC Jeremy Johnson, you know what you're in for when you're playing Marquez Henderson. You know what you got to do. You just don't even know if you can still do it. That's how talented this guy is. 4-star recruit for a reason, offers from teams all over the South in the ACC, Sun Belt, American. He's a player. This time the Bears going with the screen. Quarterback Landon Thomas fires it out to Tajay Watson-Martin, and he is going to go all the way after making a few Pendleton Bulldog defensive backs miss over the middle. He takes it for a 49-yard touchdown for the Bears, and just like that, BHP takes the lead. Wow, a great job by Tajay Watson-Martin. He takes that rocket scream. No, it wasn't even a rocket scream. It was just a quick pass. Right? He took it immediately. He surveyed the defense. He was slow, patient runner on the outside by the 50-yard line, and he was just able to take it up and use his speed. He cut inside almost like it was a slant, but he already had the ball, and he just ran out everybody. Completely outran everybody all the way to a touchdown. Great job by Watson-Martin, and wow. 2-play drive for the Bears. They're already upset.
Extra point is up and good for BHP, and it's safe to say Marquez Henderson is not the only guy with some speed on the field for the BHP offense. 7:28 to go in the first quarter. BHP out to an early lead, 7-0. We'll be right back with more Pendleton Bulldog football, brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse.
Are you in the market for a new washer or dryer? How about a new refrigerator or a new range? Maybe you'd rather have a new state-of-the-art TV and home theater system with surround sound. If so, be sure to go see the folks at Crenshaws TV and Appliance for the finest selection, advice, and service after the sale. Open 24/7 at www.tvandappliance.com.
A quick 2-play, 77-yard drive for the BHP Bears. All of a sudden, Dave, it's 7-0 BHP. What do the Bulldogs need to do to answer back?
Like Coach Al said on our pregame show, the BHP offense, they're not going to try to trick you. They're not going to try to do anything fancy, and they didn't there. It was a run play that went inside, turn outside by Henderson, and it was a simple screenplay to Watson-Martin that he just took for a huge gain. Both those plays went for big gains. You got to realize, hey, it's a simple concept. They just got to execute better. They got to make sure that they're bringing the physicality on every single aspect of the game, whether it be outside the hashes or inside the hashes.
On the kick off for BHP is Christian Bridwell. The kick is fielded by Jamari Johnson at the 20. He cuts upfield to the middle, across the 25 to the 26-yard line, and that is where the second possession for the Bulldogs will get started, going from left to right. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line.
Loved what I saw last drive from the Bulldogs offense. But you cannot panic. You cannot try to match BHP. That's a huge problem, especially in high school, but through all levels of football. When another team scores really quick, you're like, oh, no, I'm feeling the pressure. You feel like you got to match. No. Play your game. Play the football that you were just playing. Continue to try to establish the run and hit in the middle of the field with your pass plays.
First down and 10 from the 26-yard line for Gross and the Bulldogs offense. Gross in an empty formation. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Coming in motion and joining him now in the backfield is Bray Spear. Gross takes a snap. He's looking to throw. Has Sam Jennings deep across the middle, but it's intercepted, tipped up in the air by Sam Jennings, and it was come down with by the defensive back, K.J. Miles, in the man-to-man coverage there. Takes advantage of the tip pass, brings it down for an interception, and just like that, it's BHP ball yet again.
Wow, a huge turnover for the Bulldogs. Gross had a screen concept to his left after they bring Spear back into the backfield. He elects to fire it as the other receiver on the left side went deep was Jennings, but Jennings just not tall enough to get up there. It's the fact of the matter. Battle of 2 number 8s between Sam Jennings and who was in coverage there, Sam?
K.J. Miles.
K.J. Miles, yeah, between Sam Jennings and K.J. Miles, and K.J. Miles just went up there and got it.
First down and 10 for BHP from the Pendleton 45-yard line, and keeping it himself is Noah Thomas on the read option. He has 9 yards on the play, bringing up a second down and 1.
That's that element of running in this BHP offense. It could come from any single player. We've seen them bring other guys besides Henderson into the backfield or in motion and get them run plays, and you see it from the quarterback. Thomas, a great dual threat.
Thomas all by himself in the backfield now. Marquise Henderson coming in motion. Catches the pop pass, gets enough for a first down. Nearly broke that one all the way, but thankfully the Bulldogs able to bring him down. That's the 33-yard line.
A jet touch pass, one of the greatest inventions in the last couple of years. You see it so much in modern football now. Counts as a pass play and a completion for your quarterback, but you're really just popping in like it's a jet sweep. Just really allows a guy like Marquez Henderson to keep that momentum going, and he did just that.
First and 10 for BHP. Eli Satterfield in the formation at tight end. And the hard count gets the entire Pendleton front to jump. That'll be a 5-yard penalty for offside, and it'll make this short field even shorter for BHP, bringing up first down and 5.
The BHP offense is absolutely moving and shaking early on. You know, they're going to play pretty straight up at you, but, you know, they are going to play old school football with a hard count, try to get you offsides, and that's exactly what they just did.
First and 5. Tight end in the formation, 2 receivers to the right of the quarterback, Noah Thomas. That's number 15, James Moore, and number 82, Ryan Lee. Marquez Henderson, the star running back in the backfield, joining Thomas. Thomas takes a snap. He'll give it to Henderson. Henderson off the right side has enough for yet another first down to the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs. BHP is into the red zone.
Henderson takes that on the inside of his right tackle, just able to push, but the right tackle clearly went with him the whole way. Great job blocking by the right side of the offensive line. Henderson able to stay low to the ground and fight for some extra yards late to pick up the first down. Very good run attack, very disciplined, well coached, you can see early on.
Heavy formation yet again. This time they'll give it to Henderson, and he will bounce it off the right side, forced out of bounds after a nice gain by number 21, Cody Williams. Another nice job by BHP getting their playmaker Henderson in space.
And another really solid gain. Obviously, for chunk plays, you're looking about 4, 5, 3, or 4 on first down. And he just gets 6, 7, it seems, at ease.
So second down and 4 from the 14-yard line of the Bulldogs. BHP already leads this one 7-0 and looking to add to that here. Slowing it down is the quarterback Thomas, changing the play. 2 receivers to his left, a tight end in the formation, and Marquez Henderson. It's going to be Henderson up the middle. Henderson giving a couple stiff arms. He's down to the 5-yard line, actually the 6-yard line. It'll be first and goal for BHP right there. You see that quick burst from Henderson, but you also see the ability to shove a couple of guys off of him.
Absolutely, and the blowback by the Bears offensive line has been absolutely huge. They are moving the Pendleton defensive line like it's nobody's business. The gaps that they are creating for Henderson and company are huge.
First down and goal for BHP, sending a few guys in motion. 4-man front for the Bulldogs this time. Coming in motion from left to right is Marquez Henderson. A pop pass yet again. And the Bulldogs able to bring him down for a loss. Kind of gang tackled him after one Bulldog defender got a hand on him, and then 3 others came to finish the job.
the first tackle for loss by the Bulldogs defense on the game, and those are not going to be easy to come by when you're playing a team like BHP who's so disciplined. But what they did there was they had their tight end and their H-back. They moved them from the left side to the right side, and then they brought Henderson in motion from left to right, kind of going with it, and the motion just didn't work, and BHP just wasn't able to execute.
Second and goal from the 7. Noah Thomas flushed out to his left. He has his tight end for a touchdown from the Bears. Number 22, Eli Satterfield, going into the end zone for the Bears, making it 13-0.
And just a great play design there to get the second touchdown of the afternoon, of the evening for the Bears. What a play call. They have Thomas going out to his left, just really using his legs, and they have Satterfield going with him from right to left the entire time. So when the defender comes to Thomas, he's just going to give it right to Satterfield, and Satterfield's going to waltz into the end zone.
Snap the hold. The kick is good. That makes it 14-0 BHP with 4:11 to play here in the first quarter at Cunningham Stadium. We'll be right back as the Bulldogs try to answer.
Looking for a place to connect and build community? Join us at Foothills Church in Pendleton. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. Whether you're new to exploring your faith or looking for a new church home, you're welcome here. Come experience uplifting worship, a message with real-life application, and a community that cares. That's Foothills Church, Sundays at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. We can't wait to see you there.
BHP feels like in a blink of an eye have already gone up 14-0 here at Cunningham Stadium. Marquez Henderson and Tajay Watson-Martin with a lot of explosive plays on the first two drives. Obviously, Watson-Martin with the first touchdown, a 49-yard receiving touchdown on a screen pass, and then capping off a nice drive, mainly featuring Marquez Henderson with a 7-yard passing touchdown to Eli Satterfield. So the Bulldogs are going to have their third possession of the game and are really need to get a touchdown on the board if you feel like you're going to hang around in this one for much longer.
And you can't go too quickly. You can't pass it out of the gate. I would say try to play it really short. If you're going to do an RPO, you got to make sure the blocking's strong. And I would just say run the football. Make sure you're really confident in your possession.
Goodwill's kick is away. It's going to bounce in front of Deshaun Jenkins. He picks it up and gets it around the 25-yard line before being shoved out of bounds. I think he possibly could have just let that one go out of bounds on the fly and gotten better field position for the Bulldogs. But it's going to be first down and 10 from the left hash for the Bulldogs on their third possession. We saw the Bulldogs able to move the ball a good bit on their first possession, not so much on their previous possession.
Yeah, they had, I thought, a good game plan on the second possession. You know, obviously, the first 10 plays usually scripted from any football team on offense, and just weren't able to execute there. The interception by K.J. Miles just really cost Gross in the offense.
First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Corner blitz by BHP. Evades that tackler, but Bray Spear is brought down in the backfield by the defensive end on the left side. Another tackle for loss for this BHP front. Keelan Dixon bringing Spear down in the backfield.
And they just get nothing really running the football. I would say stick with it as long as you can, but there's going to be a point where, hey, if you don't get some plays, you're going to have to abandon it and go full pass happy, and that's where we've seen Pendleton get into trouble when they're one-dimensional and they're playing from behind.
Doubles formation for the Bulldogs. Second down and 11. Deshaun Jenkins, the single back to the right of Gross. Gross takes a snap. Looking to fire quickly. Mellow Mattress catches it at the 29-yard line, and he's wrestled out of bounds across the 30. Going to bring up a third and manageable for the Bulldogs, who desperately need to convert their third down of the game.
Mellow Mattress, huge game last week for the Bulldogs. Was really able to come out of his shell. Obviously, Pendleton still without star receiver number 24, Abijah Webb. A guy like Mellow Mattress could really be a fill-in for Webb in his absence, and he's got a lot of talent to do it.
Three receivers to the near sideline for the Bulldogs. One receiver to the field. That's Ham Scott on the left side for Pendleton. Bray Spear back in at running back. Gross takes a snap, fires quickly to Sam Jennings, but it is a little out of reach for the sophomore receiver falls incomplete, bringing up fourth down.
On those quick pass concepts of a team blitzes you well, they're just going to blow it up pretty much, and you got to make sure that throw's on the money. Ross was rushed, and that throw was wide. It was just too high and too much to the right of Jennings, and that'll force another punt.
So back on to punt is Sam Jennings. Tajay Watson-Martin standing on BHP's 45-yard line, ready to receive the punt. Jennings' kick is away from the 19. It's going to bounce at the 45-yard line, and it's fielded by Watson-Martin at the 40. Watson-Martin makes a couple guys miss. He's across midfield and is tackled at the Pendleton 46-yard line, and BHP will take over in Pendleton territory for the second consecutive drive.
Jennings with a knuckler of a punt. Watson-Martin takes it off the bounce, jukes left, jukes back in right. What a return there. Only generated about 10 yards, but what a return, really. Very special stuff from Watson-Martin. He and Henderson have been the leaders in their respective fields, rushing in, receiving, and two tremendous athletes. Watson-Martin maybe doesn't get some of the shine that Henderson does, but what a player they have at number 5.
14-0 BHP on top of Pendleton. 2:19 remaining in the first quarter of play. BHP has scored on its first two possessions. The Bulldogs have been forced to punt on all three of its initial possessions.
2 out of 3, right? Because there was the interception.
Oh, correct. Thank you for that. So it's going to be first down and 10 from the 41-yard line for BHP, taking over in Pendleton territory for the second consecutive drive after an interception by number 6, KJ Miles, set up their last touchdown drive.
And they're just going to stick with their bread and butter, Sam. They're going to go to Marquez Henderson. They're going to go to him inside and try to cut it outside and have blocking to match with it.
They do just that. Henderson, off of his right guard's right hip, cut it back inside for a moment. But a nice job by Pendleton, limiting the damage there on first down.
Something great that defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, Jeremy Johnson, does is he adapts pretty well. He's able to see the first couple of drives, and he's able to know what to do. The defense is slowly getting better at stopping to the run and getting more impact, really knowing what the defense is, wanting to do, expecting the offensive play calls. They're getting better at it already. It's a bend but not break type of defense.
Thomas takes a snap. Outside zone for Henderson, who cuts back inside, making a couple guys miss, and there's the burst. He's going to go all the way for another BHP touchdown. Man, does that kid have some speed.
Wow, what a play by Marquez Henderson. It just doesn't seem fair for other people to try to catch up to him. His speed is off the charts. He takes it outside. He cuts it right back up the hash, and he's got people, trying to arm tackle him, trying to drag him down. He just whisks it off completely. Nobody was really able to get true hands and true contact on him, and if they even were, he's a strong cat. So he was just able to get that all the way. Coach Howell, we talked to him, and he said, you got to finish tackles. If you're getting arms on somebody, you got to bring them down. They have not been able to do that early, and that's just due to a lot of the talent that BHP has on their offense. And, of course, it's anchored by number 3.
Still 96 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and it has been all BHP so far here at Cunningham Stadium. 20-0 pending this extra point. I think a late flag came in at the end of the play, and it was unsportsmanlike conduct against BHP after the touchdown. So that will likely be enforced on the kickoff, I would assume. But nonetheless, an incredible play, incredible burst shown by the Clemson commit Marquez Henderson.
2 touchdowns for him early, and one touchdown for him early, 2 other touchdowns, What a way that you can play around your star player, and you can also allow all these different players to score for BHP. Wow.
Extra point nearly blocked by Zy Collingwood, but it is good off the right foot of Christian Bridwell. 21-0 BHP. Bulldogs need an answer and need one quick. We'll be right back. You're listening to Pendleton Bulldog Football, brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, right here on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio.
Looking for a place to connect and build community? Join us at Foothills Church in Pendleton. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. Whether you're new to exploring your faith or looking for a new church home, you're welcome here. Come experience uplifting worship, a message with real-life application, and a community that cares. That's Foothills Church, Sundays at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. We can't wait to see you there.
21-0 BHP, a minute 36 remaining in the first quarter. And it's been a lot of explosive plays for the Bears here early on at Cunningham Stadium. First drive, 49-yard passing touchdown to Tajay Watson-Martin, which was really a screenplay, and Tajay Watson-Martin did the rest. Several Marquez Henderson explosive runs set up a 7-yard passing touchdown to Eli Satterfield. And then probably the most impressive play of the night was BHP's last touchdown by, you guessed it, Marquez Henderson. Kick goes out of bounds for BHP, and Pendleton will take over.
Pendleton gets really good field positioning this drive, and they have to find a way to get some momentum. They haven't been able to run the ball well, which would be getting some momentum back, just quelling the offensive outburst from BHP, just trying to take the time. But you can't do that without running the football, and they haven't been able to run the football so far. They're going to get great field positioning. I would say try to start out with a wide receiver screen, maybe a bubble screen pattern where you get somebody like Sam Jennings or Nash Cahaly the ball. It's going to be interesting.
So it looks like the kick out of bounds, Pendleton has elected to make them re-kick from the 20-yard line, so that is what will happen.
It's going to be huge for field position for Pendleton, especially if they can get a good return going with one of the athletes that they have back. It's Jennings and Johnson.
Here we go again. Christian Bridwell's kick this time is going to go out of bounds as well. Possibly another decision for Coach Howell to make.
Would be interesting if he makes him re-kick it again, because then you're playing on the mind of the kicker, and you're going to be really forcing him to, hey, just keep this one in bounds, and may just end up being short. Looks like there's just going to be another re-kick. So mind games early from Coach Howell on offense that are going to pay out for them in a form of really good field position.
They'll be forced to kick this time from their own 15-yard line. And I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like this. Pendleton will definitely take any fortuitous breaks that they can get.
This is one way to take some time away from the BHP offense. It doesn't really count on the clock, but at least it's called the momentum in real time.
You have nothing else, giving your defense a breather. And for the third time, Christian Bridwell will kick it away, this time from the 15-yard line. This one's not going to go out of bounds. Jamari Johnson catches it at the Pendleton 34-yard line across the 40, trying to bounce it outside, but he is leveled by number 19 of the Bears. That is Ty DuBose.
Johnson really tried to get outside. Sometimes I feel at the high school level, kick returners try to do a little too much, trying to make sure that they're really expanding the field horizontally instead of vertically. Sometimes you just got to take what you can get, not run backwards. Still really good field position here for the Bulldogs. They'll get the ball on their own 40, and they need to tough it out to start this drive.
First down and 10 from the 40 for the Bulldogs, who desperately need to put together a touchdown drive. Three receivers to the left of Gross, one to the right. Gross takes the snap, will hand it off to Spear. Spear making a couple guys miss, but not much going. It'll be a gain of 2 on first down. Bringing up second down and 8.
With this linebacker core being so good, they get to the football really fast, and it almost feels like they have more than 11 men out there, because when you see that pile, it's a lot of white and navy and not a lot of black and gold, because the offensive line has already kind of been outspeeded by this linebacking core, and Spears limited to just a couple yards.
Second down and 8. Doubles formation this time for Pendleton. 4-man front for BHP. It'll be a give yet again to Brace Spear. Not much going, just a 1-yard gain as he was looking to bounce it outside, but brought down by the right defensive end of BHP, number 8, Justin Latham that time.
A third and about 6 now. It'll be a lot for Pendleton to pick this one up going into the second quarter. Huge in momentum for them. They were able to get some plays going in a 5-wide formation in the pass early. Let's see if they can do it here.
5 wide receivers for Pendleton this time. Heavy pressure for Gross, and he's brought down for a sack. Number 23, Jakari Anderson, blitzed him on the play and was the initial one to get to the quarterback, and then cleaning it up for the sack was Justin Layson. Brings up a 4th down. Includes the first quarter. It's been all BHP. They lead 21-0. Be back for some second quarter action on the other side of this break. West Guys Pizza in Sandy Springs is the official pizza of Pendleton High School football. Come see us on Highway 76 right across the street from the Michelin plant in Sandy Springs. We're the home of the famous award-winning Bird Dog Pizza, along with many other specialty pizzas. We also have wings, calzones, strombolis, hot subs, dessert pizza, and much more. To place an order, call 864-375-1410 or stop by and dine in with us. Guys Pizza in Sandy Springs, proudly serving the area for over 10 years. With more than 70 years of proven performance and the best bankers in the industry, United Community is one of the strongest and most secure banks in the Southeast. They are proud to have just won their 10th J.D. Power Award for Best Customer Satisfaction in the Southeast, and they're recognized by J.D. Power as the #1 most trusted bank. They are headquartered in Greenville, South Carolina, making them the largest bank headquartered in the Palmetto State. Visit the local Pendleton, South Carolina branch for all your banking needs. Samuel Goodrow, David Poley back with you here from Cunningham Stadium at Pendleton High School. We open second quarter play as the BHP Bears lead our Pendleton Bulldogs 21-0. It was a dominant first quarter for the Bears. They're about to get the football right back. It's 4th down and 12 for Pendleton. Sam Jennings' punt is away from his own 24-yard line. They'll land at the BHP 41 and take a nice Pendleton bounce down to the 33-yard line of BHP. Their first time since their opening possession, not starting off in Pendleton territory. If there's ever a time for Pendleton's defense to get a stop, it would need to be right now.
Speed is a huge advantage right now for BHP. Strength is as well. I think Pendleton has to make sure that they are taking the advantage schematically. Are they going to send guys from the outside in, or are they going to have guys in just zones all over the field stopping the run? You can see they're sending a lot of guys up early.
3-man front. Thomas looking to pass. He has a receiver. It's caught by number 15, James Moore. He makes Jamari Johnson miss. He's across midfield easily enough for a BHP first down, a 20-yard gain, actually a 19-yard gain on the opening play of BHP's 4th possession.
I love that play call from BHP offensive coordinator Andrew Jenkins. He's able to just really bait all of Pendleton's defense with that play action and a beautiful rollout from Noah Thomas. He's able to fire that, and it's an easy first down.
1st and 10 for BHP in Pendleton territory now, and they get the entire defensive line to jump yet again on the hard count.
They've deployed that hard count twice now when they're around that midfield, and Pendleton's jumped both times.
And the most egregious jump that time was by number 95, the freshman Elijah Weston, who moved so much that he had to stop his momentum by shoving down the right guard of BHP.
Down was ready to fire off the ball. Love to see it, but not in that situation. You got to be disciplined to watch the ball.
1st and 5 from the Pendleton 43-yard line. Thomas takes a snap. He fires. He's got a receiver yet again at the 42-yard line. He's got well enough for a first down. That time it was number 82, Ryan Lee, catching the screen and going.
Quick release there from Thomas, and a great job by Lee just playing with his feet. He's really fast as well. He's able to just take the boundary and pick up another first down for BHP.
1st and 10 for BHP from the Pendleton 34-yard line. Joining the quarterback Thomas in the formation is junior running back MJ Earl. They bring Satterfield, the tight end, in motion. Thomas looking to throw on first down. Deep down the left side of the field, it's caught for a touchdown. Another explosive play for Tajay Watson-Martin. This time, a much longer pass from the quarterback Noah Thomas, but the result is the same. Another explosive BHP touchdown.
Watson able to take his time, try to cause the defense to come in a little bit, and he just fires straight up to Watson-Martin. What a great job by Noah Thomas. And Watson-Martin, he was behind to start when Thomas put the ball in the air. He was behind of the defender. His speed just completely beat him, and he was free by a couple feet by the time he caught that ball in the end zone.
The extra point is up, and it is good from the kicker, Christian Bredwell. 28-0 BHP on top. You're listening to Pendleton Bulldog Football, brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, right here on WABB Spirit Radio. Attention, ghost hunters. Imagine it's dark and you're being led by candlelight through a 200-year-old haunted plantation home. Sound scary? Sound fun? Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-a-year only event. Visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org and purchase tickets at the wildly popular Pendleton Ghost Tours. Limited tickets will be sold, not for the faint of heart, and no one under 17 will be admitted. Call John at 864-646-7249 or visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org today. Pendleton Historic Foundation, preserving and interpreting Pendleton's history. Go Bulldogs. Back with you here from Pendleton High School. It's been all BHP Bears thus far. 28-0 BHP on top of Pendleton, 10:52 remaining in the opening half of play. This one has officially got out of hand, David, but the Bulldogs need to do something offensively to create some kind of momentum for them to at least make this game competitive. Kick is away. It's caught by Jamari Johnson at the 5-yard line. Jamari across the 15 to the 20, 25, making a guy miss, stiff arm at the 30. Across the 30, finally brought down. A nice return from Jamari Johnson. Hopefully that can spark a nice drive for this Bulldogs offense.
A bright spot tonight has been the special teams for Pendleton. They've been able to get pretty good field position all throughout. They just haven't been able to execute when they have the offense, and the defense hasn't really been able to stop anything that BHP's thrown at them. Maybe a couple times in some run plays they've caught up to it, but BHP is just attacking and moving the ball with each, and it just feels like they're not giving Pendleton any time to breathe on either side of the ball, and they are just so well conditioned.
First down and 10 for Pendleton. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. The tight end, Ty Miller, off the left side. Cam Scott coming in motion. It's a handoff up the middle to Bray Spear on first down. A nice first-yard gain for the running back, Bray Spear. He gets it to the 37-yard line for a gain of 4 on first down, bringing up 2nd and 6.
Spear's biggest gain of the night, all provided to him by that motion from Ham Scott. That really allowed the defensive line to kind of empty out, try to follow Scott. Really wide splits there, and a great job by Spear, just able to take that up the middle.
2nd and 5. Ty Miller coming in motion this time. Give it to Bray Spear yet again, and he is brought down immediately by number 23, Jakari Anderson. A well-timed blitz there for the defensive back, and he has his second tackle for loss of the game, bringing up a 3rd down and 8.
Jakari Anderson coming off the backside of that play. Usually in run plays, you're not worried about the backside guy because you think that, hey, the offensive line block is going to be good enough. You're going to be able to go the opposite direction. Your running back has the speed to go outside there. But Jakari Anderson has absolute speed, and he was just out of there like a bat out of hell, and he was just able to take down Spear before Spear really ever even got anything started.
So another 3rd down and long for Pendleton. 3rd down and 8. 2 receivers to each side. Ross takes a snap. He's looking to throw. Blitz coming for BHP. He has Bray Spear complete, but he's well short of a first down. Down to the 40-yard line. It's 4th down and 3. You got to wonder if Pendleton thinks about going for this one. It looks like they will.
Down 28-0 with 9:21 left to play in the second quarter. You can't really punt it anymore unless you just want to go out really with your tail tucked between your legs, and we know that that's not the kind of team that Pendleton has. They have really tough guys. The effort's going to be there with Coach Howell's squad all the time, especially with that man at the helm, and they're going to go for it because they really think that they can continue to compete in this football game.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It's Ham Scott coming in motion. 4th down and 3 from the 40-yard line. Grayson Howell's going to use a timeout. Talk things over. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a punt in this situation, unfortunately.
Yeah, still early on, so still totally understand the punt, and obviously you don't want things to get out of hand in either way, right? You don't want to be just going for it every single time, you know, because that kind of just could make the score not indicative of the outcome, really extend it beyond, a respectful amount. And you also don't want to punt too early in giving up the game. So you want to find that balance in this situation. Is that time on 4th and 4? It may be. I love calling this timeout here because it allows them to catch a breath, understand that they've just been hit in the face because they're probably still in shell shock, a lot of them, because being down 28-0 in a little over a quarter is nothing that any football player is really used to, especially a lot of these talented guys playing for the Bulldogs. So take a breath, regroup, and try your best on this 4th and 4 play. Really put your best outcome out there. Get your playmakers in space. And if you have to punt that football away and make sure that the Gunners are going down to go get it.
BHP's defense back on the field, expecting Pendleton to go for it here. But it looks like the punt team will head on. 4th down and 3. Coach Howell sends the punt unit on for the Bulldogs.
Appreciate you supporting Belton High School Athletics.
Back deep to return is Tajay Watson-Martin, who already has 2 touchdowns on the game. Going in motion is Malachi Hester, that is Turner Garner from left to right. And it's a fake punt. It is caught by number 31, and it is a huge loss. Fake punt pass from Sam Jennings to Branson Wilson, absolutely blown up and sniffed out by the Pendleton punt team, or maybe even that was the BHP defense, not too sure. Nonetheless, probably not the right call there to go for a fake punt there on 4th and 3.
And that's definitely what they were talking over during the timeout, make sure they take their time. But it really was doomed from the beginning because Pendleton went out there and there were only 7 guys on the field. Different guys had to run in, find their spots late. It was a very interesting formation. I think BHP was kind of onto it. They smelled it. It was a little fishy, and they were just able to attack that early, and now Pendleton even more backed up than they were. BHP with great opening field position to start this drive. It's going to be a tough hole to climb out of if you're the Bulldogs, but just have to make sure that you're playing the game the right way through the adversity.
Did have an unnecessary roughness penalty called against BHP after the play, but they will still take over 1st and 10 in Pendleton territory. Drive starting at the 47-yard line from the left hash.
Now, if you're BHP, what can you do that you haven't already done? You've had a passing touchdown with Noah Thomas. Your tight ends caught one in Eli Satterfield. Watson-Martin's got 2. Henderson's probably not even going to need to touch the ball.
He's probably done for the day.
Yeah, he might be. So can you get it to your other talented running backs that you have that are going to be the bell cows once Henderson graduates and heads to Clemson?
Looks like the defensive end, Justin Lathan, is in at running back.
Coach Al told us he played running back for him last year in a role, now primarily a defensive end, but a big guy who knows how to carry the football.
1st down and 10 for BHP. They lead 28-0. They'll hand it off to Lathan, and he has a nice quick burst, especially for a defensive lineman. He's out across the 40-yard line. Nice gain on 1st down for Justin Lathan, bringing up a 2nd down and short.
Really like the way that he hits the holes. Very aggressive. He's got a big frame, so it's not an easy sight to see when you're a Pendleton defender and he's coming down with a full head of steam. Really like what I see in Latham at a running back.
Real heavy formation for BHP, and they're just going to simply hand it to Lathan again. Makes a guy miss in the 2nd level and is a really hard guy to tackle. He's all the way down to the Pendleton 26-yard line. A tough guy to bring down is number 8, Justin Lathan.
Lathan listed at 208 pounds, 5'9", and he's got a really good burst. Great acceleration out of the backfield. Not an easy guy to take down. When you weigh that much and you move like that, it's going to be a lot of broken tackles and a lot of push from your offensive line if they can get behind you to add extra yards at the end of each and every one of your carries.
1st and 10 from the 26 now, and it's a pop pass to Ty Parnell. Ty Parnell bouncing outside down the left sideline, but a nice job by Pendleton's defense to contain this BHP offense.
Interesting play there. They had Parnell come on kind of like a reverse jet pop pass. and he was able to shake a tackle early after BHP kind of let some Pendleton Bulldogs through. Shook off an arm tackle, but still not able to go many places. Only 2 yards there.
Nice job by Cody Williams on the last play, making the tackle. Second down and 8 now from the 24 for BHP. This time it's going to be an outside zone for number 4, MJ Earl. He gets close to the first down marker. He is a little short. We'll bring up a third down and short for this BHP offense. Looking to score already its 5th touchdown of the night.
And crazy, I believe this is the first third down of the day for the BHP offense, which is astounding to think about and just shows to the domination that they've had on the offensive side of the ball. A great job by Noah Thomas really holding that power read with MJ Earl there.
They'll give it right back to Earl, shakes off a couple would-be tacklers, jukes to his left. He's going to go all the way into the end zone, put a nice move on Jamari Chapman, and a flag is going to come in at the end of this play as well, but I believe it will be after the play. The touchdown should stand, and as it stands, that's an 18-yard rushing touchdown for MJ Earl.
Officials talking it over. What a play there if that will stand, but that back in the line of scrimmage, like Sam said, it should be after the play, but you never know.
Referees deliberating on the far side of the field.
Earl, the second leading rusher for this BHP squad, averaging 5.8 yards a carry. 5 touchdowns already on the season. A great run there by him.
And you get the extra point, number 16, Christian Bridwell.
Christian Bridwell on, hoping to make it a 35-0 game,
as that play will stand. So a huge momentum there for BHP, just absolutely moving with everything that they've got.
And Bridwell's 5th extra point of the night is good. 35-0 BHP on top. You're listening to Pendleton Bulldog Football, brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse right here on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio. Is your vehicle in need of a wash right now? Visit any Tiger Express Wash location in Clemson, Easley, Pendleton, or Seneca, and you can be through the tunnel with a clean, dry car in about 3.5 minutes. Plus, with the Anywhere Unlimited Fast Pass, keep that shine with a wash as often as you like at any of our upstate locations. Customers enjoy an eco-friendly, fun, jungle theme, and free vacuum use. Tiger Express Wash. More locations, same quality care. Why not beat the heat with a cool, sweet treat? Book Gettin Chilli, your hometown traditional ice cream truck, for your next event. You can find and like us on Facebook and call 864-844-4384 to book us for your next event. That's 864-844-4384 for Gettin Chilli ice cream truck. Samuel Goodrow, David Poley, back with you at Cunningham Stadium. It's been all BHP Bears over the Pendleton Bulldogs. They lead 35-0, just 17 minutes and 8 seconds into play tonight. The Bulldogs just have had no answer on either side of the ball.
And the biggest thing is, how great is this BHP offensive line with any running back? They've had Marquez Henderson, MJ Earl, and even the defensive end, Justin Lathan, who used to play running back, has got some carries. MJ Earl on that last play turned what should have been a 4-yard gain into a touchdown by breaking some tackles and moving to the left side all the way to the pylon. So just a great job by this offensive line.
Good kick this time by Bridwell, fielded by Sam Jennings. He gets it out to the 10-yard line, where he is wrestled down out of bounds. Looks like a face mask is going to add 15 yards to the end of this return.
Special teams has been a real bright spot for Pendleton tonight. They'll get another good field position start, this time off of an error, an aggressive, maybe a little sloppy error from BHP on the kickoff.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own 25-yard line. Excuse me, the 27-yard line from the left hash. Bulldogs really need to put a drive together here, if nothing else, just for the morale of this offense and this team, as we still have 30 minutes and 45 seconds to play in this football game.
When you're down in a game like this, first the priority has to be not letting anybody get hurt, and the second has to be putting together respectable football, and I think that's what they've been doing. They just can't let this get out of more even. They can't let this get even more out of hand than it already is.
First down, and Gross is going to hand it to Spear. Cuts inside. A couple of nice jump cuts on that play. Finally brought down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 4 for Bray Spear.
Spear's been pretty solid tonight. He's done a lot of work in making sure that runs get past the line of scrimmage. And you can see he's feeling it a little hesitation in his walk there to get back to the, his spot in the running back. But he's been pretty good. He's got gains when he can, but he hasn't been able to do much all by his own.
Cross takes a snap. They'll give it to Spear yet again, and he's brought down in the backfield for a loss by number 18, Ty Kelly. BHP's been really opportunistic blitzing, and it seems like pretty much every time they call a blitz, it's to the right spot at the right time.
I love that you said that, Sam, because multiple times when Spear has had success on a run up the middle, the next play, Pendleton has tried to go wide with him on an outside zone. And each time, BHP has been there with a blitz by a linebacker, getting him on either the backside usually, they just got him on the backside there, but also right at his head. And I just think that those blitzes on the outside, really following up those inside runs with those outside runs and just predicting that has been huge.
3rd down and 7 for the Bulldogs. 3 receivers to the right. Hamscott all by himself to the left. Spear joining Gross in the backfield. Gross takes a snap. Gross stepping up in the pocket. He's got a few BHP Bears defenders swarming him, and he will be brought down for a big loss on the sack back at the 24-yard line. And this BHP Bears defense has just been suffocating tonight, really complementing the dynamic BHP offense. And it's hard to believe that an opponent like Westside was able to put BHP away 56-14 earlier this season.
How good is Westside, right? I mean, I'd love to see them. We haven't got a chance to go out to one of their games, but I'd love to because there's a lot of talent from BHP right here. Imagine the talent on Westside. Little high school football math for you.
This time the punt off of the right foot of Sam Jennings, fielded at the 45 by Tajay Watson-Martin. Made the first tackler miss, but he's tackled by a couple Bulldog defenders at the 38-yard line. There is a Bulldog down at the 42. Hope he's all right. 4:19 remaining in the first half of action. You're listening to Pendleton Bulldog Football, brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, right here on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio.
Liberty Hall is a 10-room bed and breakfast with ensuite bath in historic Pendleton, available for those traveling to our area and local getaways. Liberty Hall venue is a great location for wedding receptions, corporate meetings, parties, and events. Call Liberty Hall today for your next event. Are you in the market for a new washer or dryer? How about a new refrigerator or a new range? Maybe you'd rather have a new state-of-the-art TV and home theater system with surround sound. If so, be sure to go see the folks at Crenshaws TV and Appliance for the finest selection, advice, and service after the sale. Open 24/7 at www.tvandappliance.com. Proud sponsor of the Pendleton Bulldogs. That's www.tvandappliance.com. Looking for a place to connect and build community? Join us at Foothills Church in Pendleton. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. Whether you're new to exploring your faith or looking for a new church home, you're welcome here. Come experience uplifting worship, a message with real-life application, and a community that cares. That's Foothills Church, Sundays at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. We can't wait to see you there.
West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton is proud to sponsor the Bulldogs. For help with real estate, wills, probate, or your small business, go see West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton. They're as tough and quick on your legal needs as the Bulldogs on a Friday night. Go to westcoxlaw.com after tonight's victory party to make your appointment. Guy's Pizza in Sandy Springs is the official pizza of Pendleton High School football. Come see us on Highway 76 right across the street from the Michelin plant in Sandy Springs. We're the home of the famous award-winning Bird Dog Pizza, along with many other specialty pizzas. We also have wings, calzones, strombolis, hot subs, dessert pizza, and much more. To place an order, call 864-375-1410 or stop by and dine in with us. Guy's Pizza in Sandy Springs, proudly serving the area for over 10 years. So the injured Bulldog on the previous play was Jamari Johnson. He's helped off the field. Hopefully he's just dealing with a cramp. But nonetheless, it's another possession for BHP that starts off in Pendleton territory. This one beginning at Pendleton's 38-yard line. Empty formation for BHP. Haven't seen this too much here tonight. The H-back motioning, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper for Thomas. Thomas, with a nice burst of speed of his own, making a couple guys miss. He's across the 20 into the red zone, and a well-designed quarterback draw that time for BHP.
Really good job by Thomas. Rolled out to his right instinctively. A little bit of power there. He's able to kind of just let it sit like he's going for that pass. The defense comes in and goes out a little bit, and then he just takes it right up. His cuts were exceptional. Was really able to showcase his quick twitch muscles and get a big game with his legs. And an empty set, they can still run the football. That's BHP for you. With under 4 minutes to play now, interesting to see how BHP attacks if they just decide to run it out completely at will and get a touchdown, or they give Pendleton some time to maybe get another possession for themselves.
Here's another touch for the dynamic Marquez Henderson, looking to bounce it outside to the left, but a nice job by Pendleton, limiting him to 4 yards on first down. BHP pretty much scoring at will so far tonight. 5 possessions and 5 touchdowns. 3 minutes to go. 35-0 BHP. Noah Thomas all by himself in the backfield yet again. This time he'll roll out to his right. He's looking to throw. He has a receiver, and it's caught for another touchdown. This time, number 15, James Moore, with the touchdown from Noah Thomas, making it 41-0.
Wow. Just a great job by offensive coordinator Andrew Jenkins. Completely same play design as that quarterback run by Noah Thomas. He takes it out, and then he brings that ball up with the right hand. He's going to look to throw. He's moving, and he's got a receiver. Moore just does a great job of getting to the front pylon on the right corner of that end zone. He just goes up and gets it pretty easily. And it's another touchdown for BHP off of a great play design, playing off something that Pendleton just saw.
The extra point is up, and the extra point is no good. The first miss of the night by Christian Bridwell was 5 for 5 before that one. BHP still leads 41-0. We'll be right back as the Bulldogs look to answer. Attention, ghost hunters. Imagine it's dark and you're being led by candlelight through a 200-year-old haunted plantation home. Sound scary? Sound fun? Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-a-year only event. Visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org and purchase tickets to the wildly popular Pendleton Ghost Tours. Limited tickets will be sold, not for the faint of heart, and no one under 17 will be admitted. Call John at 864-646-7249 or visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org today. Pendleton Historic Foundation, preserving and interpreting Pendleton's history. Go Bulldogs. Samuel Goodrow, David Poley back with you here from Cunningham Stadium at Pendleton High School. 41-0 BHP. And Dave, I hate to sound like a broken record, but this BHP offense is scoring at will.
It's great to see if you're a football fan, not if you're a Bulldog fan tonight, but it's really an encouragement to anybody listening. Go out and see BHP if you've got the chance. This is a very talented football team. They've got star players with athletes like you're not going to get in a lot of other places all over the upset.
There's all sides on the kick.
Kick is away from BHP, but an offside, and they will be forced to re-kick. The officials blowing that play dead just after Bridwell's kickoff.
Yeah, so that'll allow Pendleton another opportunity and a great field position off of kick. They haven't been able to execute or score off one yet, but they've had one pretty much every single drive.
Kicking off again, this time from the 35-yard line. It's actually going to be Benji Ward. We already are seeing the backup kicker in action in the first half. Ward's kick is away. Shorter kick. It's going to be fielded at the 22 by Sam Jennings. Jennings reversing course from right to left. Up the left hash. He's still got some running room across the 40 to the 45. and finally shoved out of bounds just before reaching midfield. A really good return from Sam Jennings, 28 yards on the return.
Pendleton has a great kick return formation where they have a couple guys up the front, I believe it's 6, and then they have 3 guys each on the hash and the 2 returners, right? So it's going to be 5 guys up front, 3 guys on each hash, 5 guys up front, 2 guys on each hash, so that's 9, and then 2 returners in the back, right? So you're going to have kind of like a ladder, like 3 by 3 on each hash with the returners in the back. There, Jennings takes it on the right side. He has that last guy on the other hash blocking for him. He's able to reverse field, use him as a kind of a blocker for like a pick play, and take it all the way up the left sideline. Great job by the Pendleton special teams. Now, could the offense match that ingenuity?
2:46 remaining in the first half. Bulldogs trail 41-0 here at home to their region foe, BHP. Ross takes a snap. He hands it off to Bray Spear on first down, and not much doing for Spear. Is BHP right there to make the stop at the 49-yard line. 2-yard gain on first down for Spear.
Will be interesting to see when BHP calls off the dogs and when Pendleton takes the talent advantage, right? When they're going to be able to use their first-team offense to move the ball against the BHP backup. They've had some success running it up the middle on first down. Can they capitalize off of that? They're going to take a timeout, and we're going to see.
Yeah, well, you mentioned calling off the dogs. I guess that won't be just yet because BHP calls timeout there after that first down play. Are they looking to score again?
They definitely, maybe. They definitely could be, no doubt about it. A lot of talent on this BHP defense, and not with a lot of talent comes great coaching. This team is stacked. This team is going to make sure that they get everything out of their potential tonight in this ball game, even though they're up 41 points.
Second down and 7 from midfield for Pendleton. Had a couple bright spots on the first drive, converting 2 third and longs, but really no success since that point. A couple nice returns on special teams, but it's been hard to find positive offensive plays for Pendleton tonight since that first drive. Groff takes a snap. Groff stepping up in the pocket. Now backpedaling a little bit, fires it out of bounds. Number 19, Ty Dubose with the hurry there. Will be third down and 7 from midfield.
Dubose does a great job of putting pressure on Gross, who sees that the defense is kind of going out. He steps up in front of his offensive line, looks to run, but Dubose comes in and drives him to the ground as he tries to get that ball away. Great timing by Dubose, not getting a roughing the passer, just being perfect in his timing of taking Gross down, forcing that incompletion, and just a great job by the BHP defense, putting pressure and forcing Gross to make hasty decisions.
2:29 remaining in the first half. Third down and 7 from the 50 for Pendleton. 2 receivers to the right, a tight end and an H-back in the package with Bray Spear in the backfield. First BHP is going to spend its second timeout of this first half.
And the coaching staff of BHP not looking very happy there. Seems like some of their players were out of alignment. That's something they definitely want to talk over going into this extra timeout. Doesn't seem like they're trying to run up the score. I think they're just trying to make sure that their team is still aligned, that they're taking this seriously. Up 41 points, it could be difficult for a couple players to, knock out and maybe not be as focused as they were in the beginning of the game. Of course, the coaching staff under head coach Russell Blackson just trying to make sure that they're disciplined as possible. They're all together on the game plan and that they're still hitting those X's and O's, kind of reminiscent of Nick Saban at Alabama, back when they would be playing like Texas State or Louisiana Monroe or something like that. He'd be calling timeouts. He'd be screaming until the end of the game because it's all about the fundamentals of playing football, and that's what you see in great teams like BHP, like in Alabama. I'm not saying that BHP is necessarily Alabama, but they are one of the best high school programs in the state of South Carolina, and coaching is the reason that they're there.
Definitely a lot of fire from the coaching staff on that BHP sideline. Third down and 7. We'll try things again. Gross takes the snap, takes the handoff to Spear. A lot of pressure in the backfield, and another sack for this BHP defense. This time it's number 5, Tajay Watson-Martin, coming off the edge as the corner on the blitz. He has 2 explosive plays for a touchdown, and now he has a sack. He does have 2 touchdowns, now he has a sack.
Watson-Martin, absolutely explosive with his speed. We've seen a couple corner blitzes tonight. He's right off the edge. He kind of makes Groff stutter. Groff is really looking for 2 deep balls on the right side. They don't know exactly what to do. Watt He feels Watson Martin coming. He kind of just shakes his shoulders a little bit, tries to generate some pressure, but with Watson Martin's speed, by the time he shakes his shoulders, number 5's already on him, and Gross is on the ground. It's a 4th down and very long now, thanks to Watson Martin. The defense looks great for BHP, and you have guys playing both ways. That's the talent that they have. A guy like Watson Martin, a sack and 2 touchdowns from the DB primary position. What a guy.
BHP spends its 3rd and final timeout of the first half. So Pendleton will be forced to punt. 4th down and 17 from their own 40-yard line. Sam Jennings on to punt. And Tajay Watson-Martin just had the 3rd down sack and has 2 touchdowns back deep to return.
And with 2:18 left, BHP is going to be able to run a 2-minute drill, but they won't have to do anything fancy with up-rush and passing game. They can just continue to play their offense.
Good punt by Jennings. Bounces at the 40-yard line of BHP, and a good Pendleton bounce to the 33-yard line of BHP.
Like I was saying, Sam, BHP is able to move the ball at will, and they're able to run pretty much a fast-paced offense, even though they keep the ball on the ground the primary of the time. It's going to be really interesting to see how quickly that they can move 60-plus yards.
First team offense still on the field for BHP. 2 receivers out to the right. Joining Noah Thomas in the backfield is the Clemson commit, South Carolina Mr. Football finalist, Marquez Henderson. They'll give it to Henderson on an outside zone, coming from left to right. He bounces it outside. Flag flies on the play. Going out of bounds is Henderson, likely coming back with a holding.
Yeah, a couple offensive linemen and receivers blocking, moving left to right there. A lot of action going on, and sometimes, when you have so many guys in motion, after the play, you're going to get a little sloppy, and there's a holding there by the offensive line. A couple good blocks there, but, a little too much black and gold jersey.
That'll set BHP back 10 yards. Still 2 minutes and 1 second to play with here in the first half. They are out of timeout.
That'll mean that they'll have to go 79 yards if they want to score this one. Might cause them to put the ball more in the air a little bit, even though their run game has been so effective, and a big play source for their offense.
First and 20 now from the 22-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. Marquez Henderson in the backfield. Will be a shotgun toss. Trent Garner was there. Marquez Henderson just shoves him off of him. Then he shoves off Cody Williams. And then he's down the left sideline. He's going to go all the way to the house. A 78-yard touchdown for Marquez Henderson, who just made 2 of the best defensive players in the upstate of South Carolina look like children.
Somebody send that to SportsCenter Top 10. My goodness, Marquez Henderson. You get a toss play there. Trent Garner hits him 5 yards in the backfield immediately off that shotgun toss. He makes Trent Garner look like he's a 5th grader, shakes him off. Trent Garner's going to the ground, not able to finish that one. We knew that, it definitely had to be, guys with hands-on finishing tackles, not able to get that there. Breaks a couple tackles more at the edge, and then he's off to the races. Nobody can bring number 3 down. That's one of the best football games, that's one of the best football plays I've ever seen at the high school level. No wonder this guy's a Mr. Football candidate in the state of South Carolina.
I mean, I would be hard pressed. I would be hard pressed to find a better player in the state of South Carolina than the man I just saw take that one to the house. That was unbelievable. 48-0, BHP on top. An absolute highlight reel play in every facet of the word there by Marquez Henderson. Trent Garner hit him in the backfield. He bounced it outside, made a couple guys miss, and then gave the nastiest stiff arm you'll ever see to North-South All-Star Cody Williams, the defensive back, on his way to bursting for a huge touchdown play with 1:35 before the half. I mean, it's 48-0. I'm not sure. I just like to echo your sentiment. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that.
Trent Garner's 6'2", 190 pounds, so it's not like he's shaking off a DB there. That's an incredible football play. That's maybe the best football play that anybody's going to see from a running back in the entire country on Friday, and Ashton Genty plays tonight.
How about that? Marquez Henderson. Ashton Genty, you have a lot of work to do if you're going to be the best running back in action here on a Friday night. BHP's kick is away. It's going to go out of bounds.
I just don't know what you do there if you're the Pendleton defense. I mean, your best players.
Schematically, you did everything right.
You did everything right schematically. I mean, obviously, you got to make sure that you're executing on tackles and not just using your hands. Maybe going a little lower, using your core a little more. But at some point, you just got to chalk it up to like, okay, this guy is an alien.
I mean, Gardner absolutely diagnosed that play.
Yeah.
He was in position
on that shotgun toss,
and it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, that's just incredible athleticism from Marquez Henderson. And for any Clemson football fans, you're welcome.
Help is on the way. I'll tell you that much. Marquez Henderson, a dynamic high school player, and I'll be very surprised if he's not a dynamic player at the collegiate level next year for the Clemson Tigers. Unbelievable stuff.
And strength that you don't see often. He hasn't even had 10 touches. He's probably just around that area of 10 touches, and he's already got multiple touchdowns, including that is one of the best plays I've ever seen.
Kick is away. It is fielded by Jamari Johnson at the 15. Jamari to the 20, 25, 30. Spins and is brought down at the 34-yard line. Here with 1:28 remaining in the first half of action. Bulldogs trail by 48.
Minute 28 left to go in the second. If you're the Bulldogs, you might just want to take advantage of the clock, run this out, get to halftime. You know, if you're Coach Al, talk to your guys about what you got to do. Make sure that you continue to fight in the second half, and just diagnose whatever you can, and just make sure that, you know, the team is all sticking together and playing fundamentally right in the second half.
I think we're seeing a few defensive reserves for BHP. Actually, it is the starters. I do see the starting defensive front. Empty formation for Pendleton on first down. Gross immediately pressured. Looks to dump it off to Jamari Johnson. Ball's incomplete. As in on the pressure there was Kylan Dixon. And Gross really slow to get up.
Big hit there on the play.
And there is a flag on the far side of the field as well.
Big 61. Kylan Dixon getting in there and really putting the hurt on Gross, driving all the way to the grass. And Gross a little slow to get up because, you know, he had a big guy. Kylan Dixon listed at 5'10", 300 pounds. So that's a lot of weight putting on a freshman quarterback.
Jace's last name isn't Grass. It's Gross, but it might as well have been Grass after that play.
That's a good one, Sam. I like that.
I appreciate it.
Ineligible receiver downfield calling it.
With an ineligible receiver downfield penalty called against the Bulldogs. We'll set a max 5 yards. Still first down. I'm not sure why BHP doesn't just take the sack yardage there, because I think it'd be similar yardage, but a loss of down, obviously. So interesting that they decide to give Pendleton an extra down, but the Bulldogs will certainly take it. Minute and 24 remaining in the first half. 48-0 BHP on top.
And Pendleton's coming out in that 5 wide once again.
5 wide again for Gross. He's met with pressure. He's going to have to step up in the pocket, but as he tries to do that, he's brought down by his leg by Ty Rainey. Another sack for this BHP defensive line. They've been extremely disruptive all night.
I think Gross has looked pretty good on his dropbacks. Problem is, he has no time to really get out of them. A great job by Ty Rainey, just getting there. Gross tried to make a move, try to split 2 defensive linemen, but not able to do that as Rainey just goes for the feet and is able to use his strength and bring him down.
Less than a minute remaining in this first half of action. 2nd and 25 for Pendleton. And a lot of this clock eat away and waste away. 34 seconds, 33 seconds. Gross finally takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Deshaun Jenkins. Jenkins lowering his shoulder and plowing through number 21, D. Chester, but he's brought down shortly after. It'll bring up third down. I'd be surprised if the Bulldogs snap this football again before halftime.
Yeah, 15 seconds now just ticking away, and Pendleton will try to go into halftime, assess what they can assess, make sure that their offensive line is still playing tough in the second half, that they're identifying keys, in the BHP offense, and that they are just playing their game and running their offense still successfully without anybody getting hurt in the second half. just really trying to take on to that team-focused, team-centered mindset, sticking together, playing the game the right way in the second half, and they'll be able to get a lot out of it if they're going to be able to stick together.
So at the end of the first half, it is BHP 48 and Pendleton nothing. It's time for the Rogers Petroleum halftime show. Dave, I know you weren't with us last week, but it was dominant, kind of in the reverse fashion. The Bulldogs were on top 50-0 at halftime against West Oak just a week ago. Now all of a sudden you're on the other side of that coin. Last week at halftime, Toby and I were talking about hopefully getting some reps for younger players in the second half, and we saw a lot of those younger players really shine in that second half. Jock Davis-Sullivan, one of those guys that made a lot of plays in the second half last week at West Oak. But now you find yourselves the ones down nearly 50 points here at home. What do you say in the locker room with your Coach Howell? And your guys have been pretty focused in preparation all week, coming off a nice win against West Oak. What does Coach Howell do to keep the spirits up of these Bulldogs who are obviously probably feeling very defeated right now and look to create some momentum in the second half to carry into the Crescent game next week?
It's a really difficult mental transition to make, especially for a high school football team when you're still in school, you're still learning, you're still growing as men. It's a really difficult transition to be up 50-0 at halftime one week and then the next week be down 48-0. So what Coach Howell has to do is make sure that he's playing on their character. He's like, hey, guys, this is how we are in the football team. These are our values. This is how we play hard. This is how we play together. Just making sure that you're invoking all of those right things as a motivator, as the head coach, as the guy, who's standing on the sword for this football team. And that's what Coach Grayson Howell does great. He's able to cultivate, just good values, a disciplined culture among his team, because I thought the Bulldogs have played pretty hard. Their effort's been there. The effort needs to continue to be there, though. It's so easy to quit, but not when you're the Bulldog, right? Not when you're the Pendleton Bulldog. You do not quit in the second half, no matter what. And you're going to have a lot of talent that you can showcase, a lot of things that you can take to next week if you're just able to run your offense, run your defense, and still provides a lot of opportunity for players to earn spots for next week, for players to fight to the next level for next week, and to just continue to keep that season open, because even though you're not 48-0, the season doesn't end tonight. You're going to go to a playoff, and you still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we emphasized a lot in our week one broadcast against Chesney. The four core principles that this program are built upon: devotion, diligence, vigilance, and perseverance. We're definitely going to need to see a lot of perseverance, and maybe some of the other three in the second half of action. The Bulldogs down 48-0. It'll be very interesting to see how they respond to probably the most adversity they face all season. Let's just face it.
Could be, because it also could not be, because they've had some tough losses, right? If you look at Woodmont, that's a game that you feel like they maybe could have won. This one, it's already out of hand pretty much, unless, crazy things have happened in high school football, but it's already out of hand, so maybe that's a little easier to digest and kind of shift your focus to playing the game the right way, staying focused, but also thinking about, okay, what can I do to keep it going for next week? Because I don't know how much of a heartbreaker this is if it's already been stomped out of you. But, this is definitely a super adverse spot, one of the most adverse, if not the most, that they've experienced all season. They've got to really, just dig deep and fight the best that Bulldogs know how to fight in the second half.
Well, it is time for part two of the Outsider Coffee Coaches Show. Our conversation recorded earlier in the week with Coach Howell. A lot of program spotlight in this Outsider Coffee Coaches Show here tonight at halftime as part of our Rogers Petroleum Incorporated halftime show. But it is time to catch up with Coach Howell on the Outsider Coffee Coaches Show.
Back with the Outsider Coffee Coaches Show on halftime. Coach, we always love to talk about in this second half about, the internal side of the Bulldog program. And we always want to start that off with the players of the week, who has really impressed you with not only last week's performance, but how they've positioned themselves for this game and in practice this week.
Yeah, and we appreciate, we are able to put this stuff out on social media every week. Anderson Embroidery and Screen Print is our Players of the Week sponsor, and we sure appreciate them. And, in a game like last week, guys who don't normally get the opportunity to play, and some of them took advantage of that. And so offensively, Bray Spears, our player of the week. Bray, like we said in the opening, touched the ball a minimal amount of times on Friday, but made the most of them, had a touchdown catch and 2 touchdown runs, and has really found his groove and beginning to play really, really well for us. Offensive lineman of the week is Gaines Buchanan, graded out at 94%. He's a returning starter, and he played the way he needs to play, and we need him to continue to be consistent and to play that way all the time. Our defensive player of the week is a kid named, we call him Jock Davis Sullivan. His first name is Jacarius. And Jock came in and played well. I think he had 3.5 tackles, 2.5 for loss, had a fumble recovery, just running around making plays in the second half last week. And he's a senior, right? So you love to see that, a kid taking advantage of an opportunity to go play. And so he played well. Defensive lineman, or he's actually our defensive lineman of the week. Our defensive player of the week is Jamari Chapman. Jamari played great. He's a sophomore outside linebacker. I think he had either a fumble caused or fumble recovery, had a pick. We had a kickoff return for a touchdown that was called back, where they called Jamari for a block in the back. It was as bogus as it could be. He just dominated his block and ended up on the guy's back when he put him on the ground, and the referee, all he saw was the end of it. So he got called for a bogus penalty, but played really well defensively. And then our special teams player of the week was our extra point guy, Bailey Gilbert. Bailey went out and knocked through all 7 of his extra points. So excited for him and how well he did. He and Matthew Chapman have kind of shared those kicking responsibilities throughout the course of the year. So excited for those guys.
You mentioned Buchanan graded out at 94%. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of, do you know your assignment, and then do you execute your assignment? And so if you can pull off, for offensive linemen, most of the time a winning grade is somewhere around 70 to 75%. Because they're asked to do more than most guys. They've got to think a lot more. They've got to adjust to what they see in front of them. And it's not only the thinking part, but the executing part. And he played. I mean, if you got somebody that's grading out over 90%, they dominated their position in the course of that game.
How did you create that sort of process with your coaching staff in terms of evaluation?
Yeah, it's not really. That's an age-old thing. I mean, that's just something that everybody does. And it's not only about knowing what to do. It's about can you finish it, and it's not enough just to know I've got to block down. Do I block down to the point to where it becomes a winning play for us? And Gaines did it at a really high level Friday.
Absolutely. So how is the program feeling right now? Obviously huge win last week, of course, big game tonight. What is the general health of the program, the vibes of the program? How do you feel like everybody's practicing and everything that goes along with the Pendleton Bulldogs?
Yeah, for us, most of the time practice isn't a problem. Our kids, I've said it over and over, I've kind of categorized this group as a group of workers, and I could count on probably less than 3 fingers the number of practices that I've been disappointed in how we've gone about it. And so they're doing well. I mean, obviously you feel better after a win. You especially feel better after a win after you've lost 3 in a row. You got to go all the way back to August 30th, right? Since we won a game, because we missed 2 games where we felt good about our chances to win. And so we're good. Our health for the most part is good. We're still waiting on a couple of guys to get back that are key parts of our program. We may get one back that we weren't anticipating getting back, and that would be a real bonus for us down the home stretch, and we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. But you're always excited about opportunities to play, especially when you lose 2 opportunities in the middle of the season, because especially when you don't have any control over it.
A lot of things to hit on in our program spotlight portion of the program here at halftime in the Outsider Coffee Coaches Show. First thing I want to touch on, it's PRA night here at Cunningham Stadium as we speak right now. Can you just explain to our listening audience kind of what that is, what that looks like, and just what it means to the Pendleton community?
Yeah, it's one of the highlight games. I mean, we designate our home games, just like a Clemson or a South Carolina or a Furman or a Citadel or whoever. And so this was originally scheduled to be the Travelers Rest game, was going to be our PRA night. And then BHP was supposed to be our senior night. So we missed PRA night because of they're just dealing with the aftermath of the hurricane. And so we have pushed it to the BHP game, and then we're going to have the opportunity to honor our seniors against Blue Ridge later in the year. And so for us, it's a chance for those kids, and this is not just football kids. This are kids that are involved in fall cheer, fall football, fall soccer, fall volleyball, whatever it is. They have the opportunity to come at about 6:30 when we take the field, and they can line the outskirts or the perimeter of the field and watch us warm up. And then when we're done with that, they get to go into the field house with us and be a part of our pregame speech process. Got a really cool picture from last year that somebody took while I was talking to our team with all of the younger kids that are involved in our recreation association sitting in the back listening, and their coaches too. And I think we touched on it last week. That's what we're doing here, is you can't have success on the Friday nights without having success at the lower levels, whether it's our JV team, which is doing well, whether it's one of our younger football teams. We have a 12U2 team, 2 10U teams, and an 8U team for the first time in a long time around here. And that goes for all of our programs. We need to be successful in basketball. We need to be successful, in volleyball and all the things that they offer, baseball. And so, it's just an opportunity for our kids to remember what it looks like or what it felt like to be that age, and to, just dap them up, shake their hand, greet them, and just put a smile on their face, and just remember that there are always little eyes that are watching.
And you mentioned the 12U recreation team for Pendleton playing for a state championship. What does it mean to you as the varsity coach of the high school team to kind of see these younger guys? You hosted a kids camp. How do you, as the varsity coach, see the success of the recreation associations and look forward to the future?
Yeah, it's exciting. We haven't had a 12U team here for 2 years, and so to have one is exciting, and to see them have success on top of that's great. They've had, I think they're undefeated at this point, and so hopefully they can finish it Tuesday night over at Liberty. But one of our 2 10U teams made the semifinals and lost to a pretty good Powdersville team, from what I understand. And so you just want to build on that. Success breeds success, right? Like they say. And so we want that to be a part of what's going on around here, and excited and hoping they're going to finish that off Tuesday.
And then shifting gears, Cody Williams and Abijah Webb named to the North-South All-Star teams. First Bulldogs in several years to be named to that game. We understand you were on the coaching staff of the North-South All-Star game. So could you kind of speak to, what it means to Pendleton's program to not have just one, but 2 players selected to that roster? And then how does that process work just from a holistic standpoint in selecting players from all these schools across the state?
Yeah, well, first we're excited for Cody and Abijah. They both deserve it. They've been 4-year starters here, and have been really good players. And they've been supported by their families in what they do. Cody's family's really been through the ringer over the last 6 months or so. His dad, has been dealing with health issues, and so this is just kind of I'm excited for them and him because of that. And Abijah's been a really good player here since he got here, and he's been injured, but this will hopefully be kind of a cherry on top for him too, especially if he gets to come back and play and you add that to it. But it's really cool, and it gives me an opportunity to coach them one more time and to spend a week with them down at the beach, and that'll be a neat opportunity. But being able to be on the staff, we felt like last year for sure that we should have had a couple of guys on the team. If not 2, then at least 1, just with the way some of the things went. And you're frustrated as a head coach from the outside looking in, trying to figure out how in the world do you guys not make it. Well, then once you get put on the staff and you get to be a part of the process and see how many good players there are, you start to understand it a little bit more. And I still believe our kids should have been in the game last year, but you do get a better feel for it. And so real quick, North-South is different from the Shrine Bowl. The Shrine Bowl, which is supposedly the preeminent game in the state, but the All-Star game between South Carolina's best and North Carolina's best, they get to pick anybody they want without restriction. And then after that team is picked, obviously we can't pick any of those guys, so that's 44 of the best players in the state that are gone that neither us nor the South staff have a chance to pick. And so then we have to deal with the caveat of every region in the state of South Carolina from 5A to 1A has to have a player represented in the game. And so every 1A region, every 2A region in the upstate, 3A, 4A, and 5A has to have a player. And so if Region 2 1A only has a center that's nominated, he's the only player in the region that gets nominated, we have to take that player. And so that impacts kind of how your selection process. I mean, we spent time every week basically going, okay, what regions do we have covered? Do we have a player from this region, this region, this region? And so it gets down to it. And then you have to, if you think a player that's been nominated from that region is not quite good enough, because here's the thing, you also don't want to bring kids there that once they get there know they're not good enough to be there. And so if you have connections with coaches in that region, and you're like, hey, you reach out and say, hey, do you have a player? You need to make sure you're nominating guys. You hear through the grapevine about players, and so you go try to find their highlights or whatever, and if you think they're worthy to be evaluated, then you make sure their coaches nominate them. And that's the other thing. If players aren't nominated, they can't be selected. Their head coaches have to nominate them. And then on top of that, if their head coach is not a member of the South Carolina Athletic Coaches Association, they can't be picked. And so there's all these stipulations and stuff and guidelines that we have to work inside. But it's been a neat process. I'm glad the selection part of it is over. Because now we know who we're going to have. I'm hoping none of those guys get hurt, but then we also have had to have alternates at every position in case we lose somebody. Hopefully that happens to none of the players, and we get to play with the ones that we pick. But excited about the opportunity to go to the beach and be around some of the best coaches and best players in the state that third week in December.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. A lot of great stuff this week on the Outsider Coffee Coaches Show as part of the Rogers Petroleum Incorporated halftime show. Stay tuned. We got second half action between the Pendleton Bulldogs and the BHP Bears on the other side. You are listening to Pendleton Bulldog Football, brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, right here on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio.
Back with you here at halftime, Samuel Goodrow, David Poley from Cunningham Stadium at Pendleton High School. This is the Rogers Petroleum Incorporated halftime show, about a minute and 20 seconds away from second half action. We'll hear from a couple of our sponsors, and on the other side, it's time for some second half Pendleton football. Attention, ghost hunters. Imagine it's dark and you're being led by candlelight through a 200-year-old haunted plantation home. Sound scary? Sound fun? Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-a-year only event. Visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org and purchase tickets at the wildly popular Pendleton Ghost Tours. Limited tickets will be sold, not for the faint of heart, and no one under 17 will be admitted. Call John at 864-646-7249 or visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org today. Pendleton Historic Foundation, preserving and interpreting Pendleton's history. Go Bulldogs. Is your vehicle in need of a wash right now? Visit any Tiger Express Wash location in Clemson, Easley, Pendleton, or Seneca, and you can be through the tunnel with a clean, dry car in about 3.5 minutes. Plus, with the Anywhere Unlimited Fast Pass, keep that shine with a wash as often as you like at any of our upstate locations. Customers enjoy an eco-friendly, fun, jungle theme, and free vacuum use. Tiger Express Wash. More locations, same quality care. Why not beat the heat with a cool, sweet treat? Book Gettin Chilli, your hometown traditional ice cream truck, for your next event. You can find and like us on Facebook and call 864-844-4384 to book us for your next event. That's 864-844-4384 for Gettin Chilli ice cream truck.
Liberty Hall is a 10-room bed and breakfast with ensuite baths in historic Pendleton, available for those traveling to our area and local getaways. Liberty Hall venue is a great location for wedding receptions, corporate meetings, parties, and events. Call Liberty Hall today for your next event. Are you in the market for a new washer or dryer? How about a new refrigerator or a new range? Maybe you'd rather have a new state-of-the-art TV and home theater system with surround sound. If so, be sure to go see the folks at Crenshaws TV and Appliance for the finest selection, advice, and service after the sale. Open 24/7 at www.tvandappliance.com. Proud sponsor of the Pendleton Bulldogs. That's www.tvandappliance.com. Looking for a place to connect and build community? Join us at Foothills Church in Pendleton. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. Whether you're new to exploring your faith or looking for a new church home, you're welcome here. Come experience uplifting worship, a message with real-life application, and a community that cares. That's Foothills Church, Sundays at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. We can't wait to see you there.
West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton is proud to sponsor the Bulldogs. For help with real estate, wills, probate, or your small business, go see West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton. They're as tough and quick on your legal needs as the Bulldogs on a Friday night. Go to westcoxlaw.com after tonight's victory party to make your appointment. Samuel Goodrow, David Poley back with you here from Cunningham Stadium. It is time for the kickoff of second half action. BHP leads 48-0, and unfortunately they will be getting the ball first. They have scored a touchdown on all 7 of their possessions. Hopefully the Bulldogs can do something about that here. Chapman's kick is away, fielded at the 30-yard line by number 2, Ty Parnell. Nice job by Pendleton special teams to limit him to a 4-yard return. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line for BHP on their opening possession of the second half.
And I think, Sam, that this defense has to continue to fight, continue to put pressure on the quarterback, continue to attack the run. And the corners have to stay disciplined because we've seen early on Pendleton's defense has been playing so much the run that the corners have, I guess, creeped in or backed up off their assignments. You got to make sure that you don't allow the solid arm of Noah Thomas to beat you on some quick and easy pitch and catch plays.
Noah Thomas, the quarterback, joined by a running back, M.J. Earl, in the backfield. Outside zone for Earl on first down, and he's brought down in the backfield by number 95, Elijah Weston, the freshman, doing a nice job there on first down, gets the tackle for loss.
And Pendleton dealt with some injuries on the defensive line this season. Of course, not the biggest team playing that 3-3 stack. A guy like Weston coming up and making an impact play. He's been pretty good off the ball. You can see that his heart's there, the motor's there. He makes a big play there for a big TFL. And that's really nice to see, very promising for DC Jeremy Johnson, of course, head coach right now.
Loss of 5 on the play for BHP. Second down and 15, coming in motion now. Number 45, Brody Riddle. An outside zone this time to the right side for Earl, and another nice job by Pendleton's run defense, limiting Earl to a gain of 4 yards, and that'll bring up third down and 11, so BHP still behind the sticks.
Yeah, great job by the Pendleton defense, recognizing that it's pretty much the same play, but the other direction. Able to capsize down, get on it. Of course, BHP maybe a little bit the foot's off the gas a little bit, but still very talented offensive line, talented running back in Earl, the second most rushing yards on the team behind Marquez Henderson, who could be done for the night. And Earl showed some pretty nice flashes in the first half. Very talented player, going to be a bell cow for when Henderson's gone, because next year it's going to be him pretty much running the show at the tailback position once Henderson graduates. So a great job there by the Pendleton defense to stop still a talented running back.
3rd and 10 from the 44-yard line for BHP. Dropping back to throw is Thomas. Thomas flushed out to his left, scrambling. He's going to keep it himself now. He's across the 40 to the 45. Has another first down before going out of bounds across midfield. When we talk about the speedsters on offense, Marquez Henderson, Tajay Watson-Martin, their quarterback has got some wheels of his own. He's got a Rolls Royce there in company. His speed maybe gets downplayed by Marquez Henderson's, but Noah Thomas can move. He's a true dual threat. He's got a pretty ball, too. And he is one of the best dual threat quarterbacks you'll see at the 3A level. And he just does a great job of reading that play, realizing, hey, nothing there on the first read, second read. I'm just going to take off, and he gets all the way to the first down marker. 1st and 10 now from the 50. It's Earl again between the tackles. And about 5 black jerseys combined to make a stop. Carson Gregory, and Cody Williams among those 5.
To the captains, just making sure that their defense is still firing. It's their job to be the directors of morale, make sure that everybody's still giving their all, make sure that everybody's still on the same page schematically, everybody's still in their positions, playing discipline. Do a great job there of cutting her all early.
2nd down and 6 from the Pendleton 46-yard line for BHP. Running back Malachi Hester now in the backfield joining Thomas. Thomas takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He's firing immediately, and it's caught at the 40-yard line by number 84. That is Jemiah Galbraith. A tight end in on the play.
The backup tight end makes a pretty good play there. A tough catch on the left side. Able to hold that in and pick up another first down. So everybody's really been able to get involved for BHP. Both tight ends, a couple receivers, 3 running backs at least, and the quarterback. All been able to get gains in their own merit.
You might have noticed I hesitated a little bit after that play because BHP has 8 tight ends listed on the roster.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the brand of football they play. They're going to put guys on the line, they're going to run the football, and they're going to pound the rock down opponents' throats if they don't adjust.
Fresh set of change for BHP from the Pendleton 38-yard line. This time a pop pass to number 13, Hunter Kelly. Gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. Bringing up a 2nd down. Clock still rolling as we have a running clock here in the second half with a deficit as large as it is.
And still rolling off of that, little pop pass to Kelly. Kelly, the senior, 200 pounds, 6'2", built like a tight end, but not listed as one. He's got the speed. He does a good job of getting the outside, but the Pendleton defense does a better job of shifting that way and limiting him to a gain of 2.
2nd and 8, ball on the Pendleton 36-yard line. Can they stop this well-oiled machine that is the BHP offense? 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for BHP. Thomas dropping back. He's looking to fire deep down the left sideline into double coverage. It's batted away by Zy Collimore. A little bit of an overthrow there as his intended receiver was MJ Earl.
Yeah, they run a similar concept on the play that scored Tajay Watson-Martin on that big pass play in the first half. It's pretty much Thomas is going to just be slow, and he's looking at the streak the whole time. He's waiting for it to develop on the left side, but double coverage there by the Pendleton defense, really keying in on Earl, getting multiple bodies there. They stop it. It's 3rd down.
3rd and 8. BHP perfect thus far on 3rd downs here today. They'll give it to number 20 on an outside zone. That is Malachi Hester, the youngster. Pendleton making the stop. Gain of only 1 yard for BHP. Decision time for head coach Russell Blackson, faced with the first 4th down of the night.
You're kind of in no man's land. You don't really want to punt here. Your offense has been moving pretty good. You want to get some of your backups really good experience. Running clock, you got under 5:30 left to play. I'd say go for it this year, Sam.
And they will do exactly that. 4th down and 7 from the Pendleton 35-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, tight end in the package. Hester in the backfield with Thomas. Thomas flushed out to his right immediately. Looking to keep it himself. He's not going to have enough for the first down. Or maybe he will. Looks like they will give him enough for the first down after he reached the ball. And I thought the Pendleton Bulldogs defense had him dead to right, short of the line of game. Oh, and they did. The line judge on the far side of the field was standing at the 28-yard line, which would have been well enough for the first down. Overruled by the line judge on the near side of the field, and the Bulldogs make the stop. Will take over 1st down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. 4:35 remaining in this 3rd quarter. 7 minutes and 30 seconds coming off the clock on that initial BHP drive of the second half.
And a great stop by the Bulldogs. Thomas does a good job of rolling out, but the Pendleton defense does a really good job of getting down the line. Thomas tries to pull a little Patrick Mahomes like he did last week, cut back inside and get that first down, not able to get there. Bulldogs now have the ball, and then they can really possess it.
On 1st down and spear right up the gut. He gains 3 on 1st down. For being brought down by a few BHP Bears, including number 19, Ty Dubose, and number 28, DJ Barr, combining on the stop. 2nd down and 7 from their own 33.
Dubose very good in the first half. Interesting to see him out here in the second half, trying to bring some reps into next week when BHP plays Walhalla.
Doubles for Pendleton. Gross dropping back to throw. Gross had a clean pocket, decides to abandon it, gets to the outside. He's showing off some wheels, and he has a first down with his legs. Nice run by Jace Gross on the quarterback scramble.
And very underrated wheels for Jace Gross. I feel like we talk about it every week. If he could really use that more and tap into his potential of, a little freedom with moving the rock with his legs, I think that would be very beneficial for his game. Of course, you always have that risk with quarterbacks getting hit, but, Gross has the athletic talent to do so and picks up the first down there.
First down and 10 from the 42-yard line of Pendleton. Two receivers to the left, Sam Jennings and Nash Cahaly. All by himself to the right is Ham Scott. Gross takes a snap, will hand it to Spear right up the middle. And BHP's defensive front is right there. Number 34, Boyd Maynard, linebacker, in on the stop. Second down and 8.
Spear, a very talented running back, but not able to get much behind his offensive line. He's been able to get 4 or 5 in spots up the middle, but he hasn't really had much outside, and there he goes up the middle, just gets 2. Good job by the BHP defensive line. A lot of their starters still out there. You still see number 61, Kylan Dixon, the 300-pounder, in at left side defensive tackle.
Second and 8 from the Pendleton 44. Nash Cahaly in motion left to right. Landed to Spear. Off tackle to the left. Just a yard on second down for Spear. Bringing up a third down.
And I think one of the reasons that BHP is leaving in their defensive line and some of their linebackers, some on both aspects, both position groups, is because next week BHP will have to play home against Wahala, where they'll be dealing with Landon Robinson, the leading rusher in the state of South Carolina. So they want their defensive line and linebacking core to get a chance to get as much as they can against the top running back like Bray Spear in preparation for an elite running back like Robinson.
Third and 7 for the Bulldogs from their own 45-yard line. Gross takes a snap, stakes to Spear. He has a receiver. It's actually the tight end, Ty Miller. Ty makes the catch at the 50, but goes out of bounds at the 49 just before the line of gain. It's 4th and 1 in BHP territory for the Bulldogs, who will undoubtedly go for it here. And a nice job by Gross getting that one away and having enough strength behind it to get it to the wide-open Ty Miller.
Floats it to Miller perfectly after so many people coming at him, and he's falling away to his back foot. Great job by Jace Gross. Great job by Ty Miller, who we don't usually see involved as a pass catcher. He's pretty much a slice guy, as that H-back, as that extra tight end, making sure that he's sniffing and he's blocking, makes him a big catch there and puts his team. It gives them a first down, actually.
Yeah, give him the first down. Not a good spot, in my opinion, but the Bulldogs will take it. Gross, he's pressured immediately, tries to escape, but he's brought down for a sack, and the Bulldogs sure are fortunate that they were given a first down on the last play, or else that would have been a turnover on downs. Thankfully, just a loss on first down, bringing up second down and 14.
Under 30 seconds now to play. You got to wonder if the Bulldogs will try for one more play or they'll just let it go. I think that this could be a great opportunity on a second down long to hit something over the middle of the field and try to give yourself a third down and manageable going into the final quarter.
10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Bulldogs do get the snap off. Jace Gross a play fake to his running back Jenkins. He dumps it right back to Jenkins on the screen, and Jenkins across the 45 down to the 42-yard line of BHP, and that is how the third quarter will come to an end. BHP still on top 48-0. Stay tuned. We got fourth quarter action right here at Cunningham Stadium. You're listening to Pendleton Bulldog football, brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse right here on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio. Guys Pizza in Sandy Springs is the official pizza of Pendleton High School football. Come see us on Highway 76 right across the street from the Michelin plant in Sandy Springs. We're the home of the famous award-winning Bird Dog Pizza, along with many other specialty pizzas. We also have wings, calzones, strombolis, hot subs, dessert pizza, and much more. To place an order, call 864-375-1410 or stop by and dine in with us. Guys Pizza in Sandy Springs, proudly serving the area for over 10 years. With more than 70 years of proven performance and the best bankers in the industry, United Community is one of the strongest and most secure banks in the Southeast. They are proud to have just won their 10th J.D. Power Award for Best Customer Satisfaction in the Southeast. and they were recognized by J.D. Power as the #1 most trusted bank. They're headquartered in Greenville, South Carolina, making them the largest bank headquartered in the Palmetto State. Those are the local Pendleton, South Carolina. Fourth quarter action getting underway here at Pendleton High School. 3rd down and short for the Bulldogs. Gross flushed out to his left, trying to find Sam Jennings down the left sideline, but it goes out of bounds. Incomplete. 4th down and 3 from the 41-yard line. Bulldogs likely going to go for it again.
It would be so important for the Bulldogs to get one on the board late in this fourth quarter, at least not get shut out, bring something into next week when they will face 2 and 4 Crescent, a game that is a must-win for the Bulldogs, if I say so myself. That play there, pressure coming from BHP. Cross has to roll out to his left, has a comeback there, but the pressure just doesn't allow him to put an accurate ball on the money, and just a little bit left all the way outside of the intended receiver, Jennings, who has some space.
4th and 3. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, tight end in the formation. Gross fakes the handoff. He has Ty Miller in the flat yet again. Ty Miller, a stiff arm of a linebacker. He's still on his feet to the 31. And a really nice play by Ty Miller and a nice play design.
Yeah, great job by Coach Grayson Howell, realizing that you're going to have a guy like Ty Miller who they're going to give up because you don't use the tight end much, right? So late when these linebackers and these defensive linemen are all keyed in on the run game and they're keyed in on the tackles, you can use a guy like tight end Ty Miller who's not usually involved, and you can get him into space. Could be a key to maybe use Ty Miller a little more in the pass game in the future, is showing what he can do late in this game. Really is a spark plug for an offense that needs something.
1st and 10 for Pendleton at the BHP 32-yard line. Bulldogs looking to get on the board for the first time tonight, trailing 48-0. Shotgun toss on 1st down to Bray Spear. Spear runs through a couple would-be tacklers across the 25. Well, they'll say he was a little short of the 25.
Well, here a great job just using his momentum. He was stumbling a little bit, but he was just able to truck forward, and he brings them pretty close to a 1st down. That's his probably best game of the night on that shotgun toss. He's able to just take it right along the numbers on the near side, just completely in line with them, and that trip kind of allowed him to get more yards as he was able to get lower and use his shoulder and stumble, jumping, reaching for a couple extra yards at the end.
2nd and 3 ball on the right hash for the Bulldogs. They'll give it to Spear up the middle this time. Spear shaking off a couple of tacklers, bouncing it out to the left side for the last line of defense, number 21, D. Chester, able to bring him down at the 18-yard line. So the Bulldogs are in the red zone.
Great job by Spear. He hasn't given up. He's fighting with every carry to the last whistle, and he's put the Bulldogs in a really good position to possibly get on the board. They're in the red zone for the first time tonight.
So 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Bulldogs in the red zone, threatening to score. Cross takes the snap. He'll take a handoff, looking for Ham Scott, but it looks like a flag is going to come down as the pass fell incomplete, but Ham Scott felt as if his jersey was tugged in the process.
RPO there trying to get Ham Scott on a deep slant over the middle. A little bit of contact there. Ham Scott wants defensive PI, and he'll get it. That's huge for the Bulldogs, and it'll push them inside the 15-yard line now. Give them a lot of opportunity to play their game, be able to run the football, get guys open in maybe a bubble screen. We haven't seen a lot of bubble screens tonight. I haven't seen the usual screen action with Cahaly and Jennings that we usually get. It'll be really interesting to see if the BHP defense is able to hold strong and just fire on all cylinders, send backers, send safeties to make sure that they are playing the run game first and then, living with the pass, not letting Pendleton receivers get in open space, or Pendleton's just going to be able to punch this one in.
Following the penalty, the Bulldogs have the ball.
1st down and goal. Well, actually, the Bulldogs do have an opportunity to get a 1st down. Is it 1st down and 1?
I believe so. Don't see that often.
I don't think I've ever seen that, actually.
There you go.
1st and 1 for the Bulldogs from the BHP 10-yard line. Clock still ticking. They have just 8.5 minutes to play here at Cunningham Stadium as the Bulldogs are pitching a shutout in the second half.
Yes, they are.
Groff getting the play from the sideline. Takes a snap. He'll fake the handoff and fire to the back corner of the end zone. Ball up for grabs, but it falls incomplete, nearly intercepted. Number 21, D. Chester, and number 2, Ty Parnell in coverage there, looking for Ham Scott right in front of that back pylon, and honestly fortunate that wasn't an interception.
Like, Grouse just wanted that deep ball right to that back corner of the left in the end zone. Just fires to Scott, but doesn't really identify the double coverage and doesn't get it there quick enough. Luckily, that ball was dropped in what could have been an interception as Grouse threw that into double coverage. Ham's got a great jump ball receiver, but double coverage is hard to jump over no matter who you are.
Second down and 1 now from the same spot, the 10-yard line. Grouse takes a snap, will hand it off. Bray Spear into the end zone for a touchdown. A couple stiff arms on the way, and the Bulldogs are on the board. A 10-yard touchdown run from Bray Spear, who bounced it outside to the left and got into the end zone. The Bulldogs have been shut out no longer.
And you can hear the fans cheering on PRA night. So many fans still stuck around. Just speaks to the great culture here at Pendleton High School of everybody supporting the team no matter what. So many, young kids in the rec department, playing football, volleyball, any fall sport. They're here supporting, and that just means the world to this fan base and to this team, to this school, to this town. Just a great job for Pendleton to get on the board. Great run by Spear, bouncing off tackles to get into the left side of the end zone for the first touch of the night, breaks the shutout, and allows his team and starting offensive players to bring something in the next week against Crescent.
So that cuts the lead to 48-7 for BHP, but a really nice job by Pendleton, persevering, as we talked about during the Rogers Petroleum Incorporated halftime show, persevering to get on the board here in the second half, as they very well could have just mailed it in.
Interested to see if BHP wants to respond, how they're going to respond. Do they put some guys back in there? Do they just take the air out of the ball? What are they going to do? Or do they just continue to play their game, not look to punch it in, but just like, hey, we're going to run our offense and whatever happens, happens? I could see that. I could see anything with the talent that they have. And I also think that it's crucial for Pendleton's defense to show something late and take it into next week.
Also back number 4, MJ.
7:17 to play here at Cunningham Stadium on Parks and Recreation Association night. Matthew Chapman's kick is away. It's going to be fielded at the 29-yard line by Parnell. Parnell across the 30 to the 35. Finally tackled down at the 36-yard line, and that's where BHP will take over. 7 minutes exactly remaining in tonight's contest between BHP and Pendleton.
On return, number 2, Ty Parnell.
Interesting to see if they keep the quarterback Noah Thomas in, allow him to get as many reps as possible, the junior, showcase what he can do on tape to college scouts. Of course, you got running backs like MJ Earl, maybe even Justin Lathan coming back in there. Don't think we'll get any Marquez Henderson or Tajay Watson-Martin, but still a lot of athletes that they can show and scoring that can be had for the Bears.
Ty Parnell in at quarterback for BHP now. He'll hand it off on first down to MJ Earl, and he's brought down immediately after a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, Parnell, usually a wide receiver, the senior, 5'10", 160 pounds. He's going to be doing a lot of the handing off, just making sure no injuries happen. Offensive line's going to look to get some rotations in, put some blocks down, and Thomas finishes with a great game, as does Henderson, Watson, Martin, and it looks like it'll be the Earl show, MJ Earl, for the rest of the night.
So a second down and 10. They actually say no gain on the play there, and really nice job by the Bulldogs defense. One receiver to each side. Running back this time is Hester in the formation. They'll give it to Hester on the outside zone to the right side, and this time it's going to be a tackle for loss by Cody Williams. A really nice job by Pendleton's run defense on back-to-back plays.
I have liked how the safeties of Pendleton have kind of rolled over and make sure that they are, shifting to the strong side of the football and coming down fast and coming down with discipline and strength.
So it brings up a third down and 12. Another opportunity for this Pendleton offense, or for this Pendleton defense, rather, to get off the field. David Poley sad as his Yankees trailed the Los Angeles Dodgers 1-0 in Game 1 of the World Series. 3rd down and 12 for BHP. 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the game. Parnell hands it off to Earl. Earl off the right side of his offensive line. A nice run, but not enough for a first down. The Bulldogs drag him down at the BHP 41.
Earl does a good job of getting outside of his blockers and hugging that sideline as long as he can, but just pushed out. The Pendleton defense doing a great job of swarming together and acting like, the Bulldog dog pound, pretty late on this game. They've done a good job of sticking together and gang tackling, something you love to see if you're Coach Grayson Howell and defense coordinator Jeremy Johnson late in this football game.
4th down and 4, probably Pendleton's last opportunity to get a stop, and the hard count gets them for the 3rd time tonight. It'll be a first down for BHP, and the clock continues to move.
A nice long drive. More 3rd down conversions in the second half when you have less playmakers, more young guys for BHP, but still very talented and able to work through some adversity with the young guys who are going to be the faces of the Bears, if not next year, then the year after.
1st and 10 for BHP from their own 47. Parnell hands it to Earl again. Earl's got some running room off the right side. Earl still on his feet down the right sideline. Finally forced out of bounds by the defensive backfield of Pendleton. But a big run by Earl.
Earl, when he's able to get in open space, has that blazing speed. I feel like every single player, regardless of your position on the depth chart for the Bears, has that blazing speed when they get in open space, that track speed, if I will say. And Earl does a great job of just getting in that second level, and once nobody can touch him, he's making sure nobody can catch him until he just has to hug the sideline and steps out of bounds.
3:15 to play. Parnell fakes the handoff. He'll keep it himself down the right sideline. Goes out of bounds near the line to gain. But another BHP skill position player, albeit Parnell in a quarterback with some speed.
Well, of course, Parnell, a wide receiver, he's naturally going to have that speed. He's going to be able to run the offense. Maybe not as many pass plays, but he's going to be able to run the offense, run the ball as a quarterback in a similar way to Noah Thomas, because he's still got those wheels, and he's got enough discipline to run the offense like a quarterback. Not going to see him throw it, but you're going to see him be able to move the ball and be a field general.
2:35 remaining. Parnell is going to keep it himself again off the right side. This time it is enough. Well, not quite enough for a first down, but it is enough for a first down. A 10-yard gain yet again for this BHP offense has just been getting yards in chunks all night. Two minutes and 5 seconds to play at Cunningham Stadium. BHP 48, Pendleton 7. First down and 10 from the 15 of Pendleton for BHP. Hester on the carry. Hester up the middle, bounces it outside, and he's wrestled down, but not before he gets it inside the 10-yard line. Number 29, Jordan Mattress, there to make the stop.
BHP looking across the 50-point marker, try and make this 55-7. At the end of this game, get a touchdown for some of their rotational players, while defense coordinator Jeremy Johnson trying to make sure that the defense can get a stop here and take some momentum of the first stop of the night, besides last drive, into next week.
2nd and 3 from the 8. We'll give it to Hester. Hester met immediately by the front 7 of the Bulldogs. Nice stop on 2nd and short.
Great job by number 22, Dalton Nix. Number 22, Dalton Nix, who's able to just stand them up. Great job of form, tackling, using his chest and just squaring up and bringing him down, stopping that play after just a gain about a yard. It's only 3rd down and 2 now with under a minute to play.
How about Dalton Nix listed at 5'4"? Incredible stuff from the shorty. Handoff up the middle this time for BHP. It's number 25, Katoris Cowan, the senior running back on the carry. He's stopped in the line of scrimmage. 4th down and 2 now for BHP.
Yeah, under 30 seconds to play now will be a question if BHP gets another playoff. It doesn't look like they will, Sam. It looks like that'll be a stop for Pendleton. but the game will go to BHP.
And that will be the case. Final score here from Cunningham Stadium. It's BHP 48, Pendleton 7. Honestly, could have been a lot worse. The Bulldogs pitch a shutout in the second half. They get their first touchdown of the game on a 10-yard touchdown run by Bray Spear. Final score 48-7 here from Cunningham Stadium, Pendleton High School. Dave, what are the positives as we transition into the Rains on Exchange post-game show? What are some positives that the Bulldogs can take away from this game other than the obvious shutout pitched in the second half?
I think another obvious one is a huge positive is you're not playing Belton, Honey Path next week. You're not playing one of the best teams in the state of South Carolina. You're going to go on the road, but you're going to go to a Crescent team that's 2-4. That's a must-win game, but you can think about the now and just focus on Crescent when you get to Crescent. Obviously, Coach Allen and his staff are going to do a lot of preparation during the week. Now, I think the positives you can take in the next week are how that your offense decided to respond. I think I liked Mello Mattress getting involved in the first half. When you've been able to get the ball off, he looked pretty good. I liked how defensive coordinator Jeremy Johnson kept his guys going. And I liked Bray Spear, just punishing the defense when he got a chance to. Not a lot of times where he was stopped for no gain and lost yardage when it was his fault. A lot of times it was just free rushers or people coming in the backside. Obviously, that'll have to get cleaned up in the offensive line in the run game. But a great job by Spear. Continuing to stay physical throughout the course of the game, and he was rewarded with that touchdown.
Bulldogs dropped this one 48-7. They moved to 3-4 overall on the season, 1-2 in region play. BHP, with the win, moves to 8-1 overall, 3-0 in region play. They will head to they will host Walhalla next week. Winner of that game will win the region. It's going to be a nice matchup between dynamic running backs Landon Robinson and Marquez Henderson. For Pendleton next week, they move to play at Crescent, so hopefully an opportunity for Pendleton to win that one and get into the number 3 overall, or the number 3 seed for Region 1 in 3A, kind of position themselves a little bit better for the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. The playoffs are going to be so key. You can't rule out facing a team like BHP or a team you've already faced or will face in the regular season in the postseason. Got to take everything that you can out of it. Got to make sure you're in the film room and that the offense and defense are working together in harmony.
I'd like to thank our sponsors one last time here tonight. It was Rains on Exchange, Rogers Petroleum Incorporated, Guides Pizza of Sandy Springs, Black Tie of Anderson, Pendleton Historic Foundation, Gettin Chilli Ice Cream Truck, West Cox Attorney at Law, Liberty Hall Bed and Breakfast, Foothills Church of Pendleton, Crenshaws TV and Appliances, United Community Bank, Tiger Express Wash, McDougald's Funeral Home, Mac.Bid, and of course our title sponsor, Longhorn Steakhouse of Clemson and Seneca. That's going to do it for our broadcast here from Cunningham Stadium at Pendleton High School. Final score, BHP 48, Pendleton 7. For David Poley, I'm Samuel Goodrow, saying God bless and go Bulldogs.